Hey, gamers! Welcome to another DSP video. We're gonna watch two podcasts potentially in this video, so this may be another long video. But it'll be fun. It'll be chill, relaxed. Hopefully. But let's get started. We're gonna start with the Creasol morning show because he talks about stuff that I kind of want to react to. I know we talked about the 2XKO thing. I do kind of want to react to that, but I don't know if I want to do it in this video. But we'll see. We'll see how I feel. Let's get going.
Game that is coming out this week. All right. In fact, there's another game that came out today that so far I'm not really interested in putting into the schedule unless I hear from you. The name of this game is Mewgenics. Okay.
This will literally be useful for this yesterday's Wednesday's podcast, I think, because it's really funny. But I also want you to remember all these little rants and little things DSP did during when he talks about Minecraft. I used to shit on Minecraft. I used to hate on it. Then I realized I should give games a chance. And then all this stuff about sure it has sprites, but you should check it out. All this stuff. Get a load of his. No, actually, let's just go to Mewgenics for a minute. Let's see. I saw this. This is as much as I saw. It's just the thumbnails.
It took me a while to figure out that the sound was coming out of his butt. You know, I don't know. And
Well, take a cat, rub it on a cat, then that cat gets all fat. Not too sure what's up with that.
Okay, that looks whatever. I mean, come on. Oh, you know, I should look up the Creasol trailer. Let's see. Let's see how Bioshock it looks. We'll do the launch trailer, why not?
Every drop of blood you've spilled.
Every drop you spill, I'll be watching you.
Every secret you've hidden. Open your eyes, mi amor.
Okay, I guess I kinda see what he means. But it's still like a horror game. Like, of course you're gonna see some of this. Like, I don't know. Like, a lot of stuff gets kind of conflated, but because you can kind of see what you want to see in it. Like, I was thinking, oh, it's like Resident Evil 8 a little bit. Like, you have like the that woman talking. You could think of her as like Lady D or whatever. Spooky things happens, whatever, right? Like, but I see what he means. But I also wouldn't say it's Bioshock either. Like, oh, you know what? I know why. Let's get a load of this. I guarantee this is why. Not this. That. I guarantee you. He saw that, was like, dude, Bioshock! Because you inject shit in Bioshock all the time. This dude is such a pea-brain baby. I guarantee that's what he thought. I guarantee it's that. He saw that and thought, Bioshock, because this dude's a fucking idiot.
Okay. This game is from the same developer who made Super Meat Boy and Binding of Isaac. All right. So obviously, the game has a pedigree. Okay.
A pedigree.
And,
That's a pedigree.
The game, you know, to be honest, probably plays well, probably is lengthy and has a lot of content, okay? But you might say, well, why am I not checking out Mewgenics today? Well, number one, I have a bunch of games in the schedule in the rotation already. Think of it. We're already playing Hollow Knight.
So then, why did you add Chrysol? And like, I'm, oh, man, I don't know how else to describe this, because it's not really about Mugenics at this point, actually. He's playing Hellmart and, what's it called? RimWorld. He plays all these, like, well, maybe not necessarily RimWorld, but Hellmart and all these other like sim slop games he plays. Like I've bitched about this in multiple videos. The only indie games DSP seems to go out of his way to play is either horror games or slop games, like sim slop. Like I and that's being kind of mean, because I'm not gonna necessarily like dog on all these sim games like Truck Sim or whatever, but he plays so much of them, and it's like, there's so many indie games in so many genres, and it's like he just focuses on like one trick pony shit. But then it's like, oh, look at this RPG. This is weird. Mugenics, like, I guess I need to see the trailer a little bit more, because I've seen people say it's like a grid-based RPG or whatever. Like, you can like make cats do certain kinds of stuff, whatever. And it's like, there's more to Mugenics. Like, you know what? Let's go back to the.
It took me a while to figure out that the sound was coming out of his butt.
Best way,
Okay, this isn't really telling me anything about the game. What the fuck? Let's watch DSP's friend play Mugenics. We'll just jump ahead.
You like to make a deal. All cats lose 10 HP, sacrifice yourself, or leave. I don't really want to lose 10 HP on every fucking cat.
Alright, let's get the gameplay.
Oh, here we go. I can hit 2 here. Yep.
Okay, yeah, it's a grid-based game. It kind of reminds me of, I've been playing this game, Demon School. I'd said this previously. It's not exactly like Demon School. Demon School is a little bit different, but, you know, kind of cool. So this may be my kind of game. I may check this out. And this dude is like, it's so lame. It's so lame. But I guarantee if Mugenics was a fucking sim slop game, he'd be all over it. Like, you're running a pet store, but you're a cat. And he'd be like, okay, well, we're running a pet store, I'm a cat. That's what he's into. He'd be into that. He'd be all over it.
Hollow Knight, that's doing well. We're already playing RimWorld. That's doing well. We got Dragon Quest VII in the rotation now, which I'm hoping will do well, but we don't know yet.
Okay, at least he's saying he's hoping.
Street Fighter 6 has been doing well, and we're now trying to play Hellmart. So with those games in the rotation, I can't really be throwing another game into the rotation right now, and I had to choose between the two games coming.
I love that we're still doing this thing, but didn't he say, like, we are now gonna have the freedom to pick games up, drop games, do whatever? Like, Hellmart, does that even have an end point? Like, it just seems like, I don't know. I watched him play it like a little bit, and it just doesn't seem there's any point to it. It's just, you do stuff and spooky things happens here and there. Like, I don't know. It's the kind of game I feel you could play it, put it down for like a month, come back to it, whatever. Like, this guy is so set in his ways that he doesn't want to do anything like unique. Like, oh, we're gonna try this game, okay, move on, or whatever, or come back to it. But the thing is, the other point to remember is that there's no major AAA game out right now. This is all just filler, and I guarantee you, the moment we get more AAA games coming out, he will say that. Yeah, we were doing these games as filler, and now we get to the real AAA releases, because he always does this. It's so annoying when this guy, like, it really is, like, you don't go grocery shopping for meat or anything, and all you have is, like, vegetables, beans, whatever. Like a vegetarian diet, right? You have that's all you have, so you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna cook that. And then you tell your friend, yeah, I'm a vegetarian. And it's like, yeah, no, you're not. You'd get meat if you could. Right now, you're just eating this. Like, he's that kind of guy. It's so annoying. It's so annoying.
Coming out today, and I'm looking at a game that's really awesome graphics, gothic survival horror, gore,
And this is, oh my god, this is what he bitches about other people about. All these other people are not taking this game out because the graphics aren't pretty. It's not pretty. All this shit. He mocks so many people. But guess why he was playing Chrysal that day? Because of the pretty graphics. This dude is such a mark.
Bioshock-esque elements, scary but fun, versus
Scary
a
but
game
fun.
with a bunch of mutated cartoon kitties with puzzles.
And how fair is that? You're comparing two different genres. And there are two different games. Like, this is why DSP's not a real gamer. He's not a real gamer. He's a fake fuck. Like, it's insane. It's insane. I don't have that much skin in the game with Eugenics. It's not like I fucking kickstarted the game, I backed it, I made it, or anything like that. But it's genuinely insane. Like, indie games have like a huge range of production. You can get a game that has like a shoestring budget. You can get a game that has like a decent sized budget. Like, you know, Clear Obscure, his favorite game, by the way, started out as an indie game, but it got funding. So I would argue it's more AA. It's a AA game that got the clout of an indie game. But that's like the range indie games can like reach. And this dude is it's so ridiculous. And then he doubles down on the graphics. Like, dude, you're playing Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight's not a pretty graphical game. Oh, it's the art style. I mean, I kind of think Silksong has a better art style than Hollow Knight, but that's like old hat. And plus, Hollow Knight's old anyway. Like, you know, Hollow Knight had to come out to pave the way for Silksong. So come on.
And I would like to say something, all right? And listen, whatever floats your boat, to each their own.
Again, I also want to highlight all he had to say, like normal people. Yeah, I know Mujang's came out. I'm not into that. Like, I'm not really interested in it. It's not on my radar. Like, that's all he has to say. Because I don't think anyone was expecting him to play Mugenics. Who the fuck was thinking, oh my god, Mugenics, DSP's gonna play that? Nobody was thinking that. And this, maybe a few people in the chat was like asking him about it, but he could just say, I'm not interested in it right now. I'm not interested in it. Maybe later. Like, maybe if you guys tell me more about it, whatever. The thing is, I kind of do feel it's caught up in this Stellar Blade debacle. But like everything else in DSP's career, like, instead of having normal reactions, the reactions snowball. Like, Code Vein is another good example of this. At the start, he would just say, I'm not interested in Code Vein. I played the demo. No one cared. I'm not really into it. I just want to play other FromSoft games or whatever. Like, okay, that's a normal reaction. Then somehow along the way, he decided to say, okay, guys, yeah, the trolls want to see me play it because there's boobs in it. And it's like, just stick with what you said before. Like, that makes the most sense, and you seem more reasonable. Like nobody was gonna troll that reaction. And if they did, it would just be like, wow, you're missing out. Like, the usual shit he's been through before Code Vein even came out. And he's like sitting there like, yeah, it has boobs in it. So of course, what do you think is going to happen? Stellar Blade is the same thing. All he had to say was like, I'm not interested in it, and that's it. Instead, he's like, oh my god, you just want to see it because you can fap to it. All this weird shit. And it's like he goes out of his way to be like obnoxious, and part of it I do feel he thinks that being obnoxious will get people to stop asking for it. But again, when you look like you're crashing out over picking a game, you're just gonna look like a fucking bitch, and people are gonna like fucking smell blood if you know what I mean, dude. And this dude is sitting there like, okay, look, Mugenics, it does look like my kind of game. Even though already the reason is really stupid, but whatever. You could, I guess, say, oh, he just doesn't like the style of it, right? And he's like, look, it's okay. Everyone has different opinions. The second he said that, I was just like, oh God, uh-oh. Here we go.
To their own. Whatever your preference is, that's fine. That's the beauty of life, is that...
I hate when he says this shit, because when he's posed that, he calls you an idiot or whatever the fuck. Like, if you say that, like, I don't know, like, man, I'm blinking on some of this shit, but like, there are so many times where he will demand his chat to have the same opinion as him, and they're wrong if they don't agree with him. Like, there's rants about critics that do this.
There is variety, okay? And that is a good thing. If every game
Oh, you know what? No, I got it. He's saying this, but if you ask about GTA 5, GTA Online, or whatever, any of these live service games, Fortnite, he will tell you you're the reason gaming is failing. Even though, like, the reason why gaming is failing is fucking all these greedy CEOs that just want to chase trends and shit. But he will only say that if there's an opportunity for him to jump behind a bandwagon. He will not have a genuine opinion on his own. Because he can't, because he's so afraid that people are going to dogpile on him. Because this guy's a dumb fuck.
game was exactly the same, then everything would be boring, right? But here's the thing about me and what I choose to play and what I choose not to play, okay? First impressions are pretty important, all right? The first
This is dumb. He has defended games that had bad first impressions, like Days Gone. Days Gone. He played that game and said that, guys, you just have to go through the boring stuff. It gets really good by the end. And it's like, who's gonna play that game if they're bored immediately? Like that, like first impressions, right? But he had more patience for Days Gone for some fuck reason.
moment that I saw Crizzle, I was like, whoa, visually stunning, right? Scary, but wow, the art design is kind of fun and unique and interesting. The game stands out, looks like it's going to be scary, but also fun to play, almost like Doom-esque combined with BioShock. Looks good, right?
I love that he says it stands out, but every time he has talked about Creasel, it was never about the game. Like, he never talks about the game. He talks about what it looks like. Like, dude, when I talk about fucking Suda51 games, yeah, guys. Suda51, yeah, you got it. I'm a huge fanboy. I don't sit there wasting my time describing what games it's like, that he makes are like. Because his games are unique and good. They're actually good games. They're amazing games. Romeo's the Dead Man is a fantastic game so far. Like, I'm like 3 chapters in, and I'm already in love with it. Like, you know, I understand that there may be some flaws here and there, but when you have a game that good, hey man, those flaws mean nothing.
First moments that I saw Mugenics, I was like, what the fuck is this?
What the fuck is this?
The game looks weird as shit. Again, it looks like a corrupted cartoon, like someone drew it when they were high.
I hate this. Corrupted cartoon that looks like someone drew it when they're high. It's just because, like, a lot of Newgrounds animations use the same style, probably. Like, you know, like, Ego Raptor, everyone's favorite guy now. Everyone loves him, right, Doob? But you know what I mean. Like, it's that kind of style. And it's like, it's just a visual style. And it's like, they've always had this humor. Like, Super Meat Boy is literally like, hey, you're a piece of meat going through a grinder or whatever the fuck. Like, it's just like a comedic game. I mean, I don't know. Like, this is just a style, and he's like looking down on it, like a fucking boomer. Like, this dude has become such a boomer. It's insane to me. Like, anyone would just be like, okay, like, you know, whatever. I mean, okay. As this guy's a fucking blabbing cat on his fucking Devoom.
It's not even clear what the gameplay elements are. The introduction trailer,
Oh my god, he's watching the introduction trailer. Yeah, but guess what I did? I also wanted to look at gameplay, so I found Sir Moist fucking gameplay of it. I was like, oh, there's combat, it's a grid-based game. Interesting. Like, already I was interested. There's like also like he was doing some questions in the beginning that was like, oh, do you want to like sacrifice like 10 HP or whatever? Like there's like aspects of this, it seems, that is more than just like whatever. And it's like, dude, you're just doing fucking nonsense. Come on.
They came out with some kind of like really bad comedy that wasn't very funny. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, what is
he Oh my god, dude. His comedy is garbage anyway. Like, you don't have to sit there and be like a fucking comedic smartass or whatever, but his comedy is just referential humor. That's all it is. Everything this dude has done has been referenced by other things. Like, last night he was doing the crumble cookie, everyone's favorite fucking DSP tries to do, the cookies. And he was like, okay, you guys, I always think I was gonna like the chocolate because I'm a chocoholic, but I actually like the Valentine, cats and dogs living together, Bassus area, all this shit. And that's from Ghostbusters. He's like, he just references movies from his childhood. That's his humor. Yeah, and then when he tries to be original, it's just that, or like he's silent. He does the deadpan shit, a non-reaction, just nonsense. Honestly, it's like worse than dad jokes, worse than teacher jokes. Like it's like the worst of all these things, all combined. Like you would laugh at your teacher way before you laugh at what this guy says.
What is this? I didn't even know at first glance. This is from the makers of Super Meat Boy and Binding of Isaac at all, but it definitely is that kind of art style, right? So allow me to explain what I mean by that. That first impressions are everything. So, as you know, I'm a lifelong fighting game fan, right? Well, I love playing fighting games that appeal more to the kind of the visual style and stuff that I like. So, for example, if I'm going to play a fighting game, the number one thing I gravitate towards is Street Fighter. That's the one that I grew up with playing in arcades. I've seen the evolution of the series over time. And yes, the Street Fighter visual style.
But he hated the evolution of Street Fighter. Like, I guarantee you this guy was, like, at the arcade bitching and moaning about Third Strike. This isn't like Super Turbo. But this dude, like, the other thing about DSP that I find fucking annoying is that this is the guy that they make live-action adaptations for. Like, I think his One Piece review was literally that. I was like, oh, I'm so curious how they're gonna translate that to live action. I'm like, dude, if you watch, like, any anime, I just don't think any anime could, like, survive a live action adaptation. Like, I just don't think that's even possible, and I don't see why anyone would want that. Like, I mean, I'll be honest, I may check out the Look Back live action adaptation, but that at least is like a down-to-earth story. But I would not watch a fucking Chainsaw Man live action adaptation. Like, no thanks. I'll stick with the anime and manga. But, like, some of these adaptations, it's just, why? Like, the Look Back at least, I think makes some sense. I just think that, you know, just watch the anime. Watch the animated, like, feature that they did of it. But, whatever. It is what it is.
Style has changed. At first, it was more realistic with almost a comic book aspect. Then it changed to anime and manga with the Street Fighter Alpha series.
And he hated Alpha. He hated Alpha because of that. And this dude, I love that this dude, like, hates anime so much, and yet he's like, yeah, I watch anime. I watch Naruto. I watched One Piece, and he claims he made to Skypiea. I'm 9% exit out. I'm at that arc right now in the manga. I don't believe him. I'm not like a lifelong One Piece fan, but I'm willing to bet I'm more of a fan than him. I'm just gonna say that I feel more confident than he is. But anyways, I also don't think he even read Naruto. I don't even think he does any of that. He probably watched whatever was on, like, fucking Adult Swim or Toonami, because, you know, that was the easiest way to consume anime at the time.
Series, then it went...
Like, you really think this guy was gonna pirate DVDs or, like, whatever people used to do back in the day You think he was doing that? No, he wasn't. I didn't do that. And, come on.
to kind of a hybrid with Street Fighter 4, and then 5 and 6 have leaned more towards the realistic side again. Okay? But that's kind of what I like. Now, if you were to say, what's your second favorite franchise of fighting games? It's probably Tekken, which again is a hybrid. It's a hybrid of like more realistic style with probably like some anime-esque
I
quality.
like how boring his taste is. He likes Street Fighter when it's like realistic. Aka, Super Turbo, and Street Fighter 6. Even though, but I like it brings up Street Fighter 5. I thought he hated how the game looked, but whatever. But he loves how Street Fighter 6 looks. I liked how the Alpha games look and Third Strike look. I think those are much more striking games. 4 was alright. I wasn't crazy about 4, but I like Third Strike and Alpha. Like I would take those way before whatever Street Fighter 6 is. And I like Tekken. I mean, Tekken's Tekken. You know, Tekken has had the same style over and over, but they have good characters that like represent the style very well.
Correct?
Correct.
But I remember back in the day, there was a fighting game series that came out that, gameplay-wise, is incredibly sound. It's actually very complex. It's got tons of very layered gameplay mechanics. You need to really be good at fighting games to actually do well at this franchise. And a lot of my friends jumped into it and really liked it. Personally, I never did. And the reason is the visual style. The game that I'm talking about is called Guilty Gear. Okay? Guilty Gear.
Oh my god.
And really liked it. Personally, I never did. And the reason is the visual style. The game that I'm talking about is called Guilty Gear. Okay? Guilty Gear essentially is a fighting game that is very, very nuanced, layered. You need to actually really be good at fighting games to play.
I really don't know how complex Guilty Gear is. I kind of don't believe that because I can play pretty competently and I barely know anything. I think the only thing in Exart I don't understand is honestly the some of the Roman cancels. Like, because they dumb down Roman cancels a lot in Strive, so it's like I don't really need to think about it, but the only thing I know is that each Roman cancel takes a certain amount of tension. That's like the only thing I know. And then there's insta kills. Like that's it. I like there's stance changes with like Jam and Exard and whatever, but I just don't think it's that complicated. And I don't even think anyone cares if you play for fun. Come on, dog.
To play Guilty Gear at a high level. I respect people who have played and
Again, I love that you talk about Guilty Gear as if he has like guns trained on him. I respect people who play Guilty Gear. Like does it really matter? It's a fucking video game. Guys, dude, you play Guilty Gear? Oh my god. I'm not worthy. Oh my god, you play Guilty Gear. Guys, DSP respects me. I play Guilty Gear.
and mastered Guilty Gear because it's actually a very hard game to play. I know because I tried to play it and I was like, dude, this is like way too many controls and levels. It's like, forget this, okay? The visuals.
But if you look at like the past on how he treated Guilty Gear, he focused a lot on it being weird. Oh my god, these people who like Guilty Gear, they're just weird. He was trying to like cockblock people from playing in the game at tournaments. Like, this guy was just nasty. And it's like, come on.
Full style of Guilty Gear looks like hyper exaggerated anime, right?
This is insane. Hyper exaggerated? Really? Like, what are you talking about? And like, it's genuinely insane to say it's hyper exaggerated. I mean, like, if he was talking about the story of Guilty Gear, sure, yes, I can agree with that. The story is kind of convoluted and silly at times, but I think that's what I love about it. I think it's great that the story is like convoluted and stupid sometimes. Like, it just adds a layer of fun. It's fun. It's fun to think about the characters' lore sometimes.
Right? Some of the characters are ginormous, monstrous freaks that could never exist.
The only ginormous character is fucking Potemkin. And that exists in fucking Street Fighter. Even if we exclude Abigail. Let's pretend Abigail doesn't exist. What's Hugo? What's Rufus? Right? These are like huge, exaggerated characters. Like, Street Fighter is not above this. He's acting as if like Potemkin's a crazy character. Okay, I mean, I would argue Abigail is far more crazier than fucking Potemkin. And I think he said like he compared Abigail to Guilty Gear too. He's like, oh, they threw in Abigail, but they wanted to be like Guilty Gear, which is like stupid. No Guilty Gear character plays like him. Abigail is a very weird character. Oh man, imagine they brought him back in Street Fighter 6.
Some are hypersexualized girls, while others are like young chibi girls.
Chibi girls. Okay, first off, the hypersexualization really is directed to fucking Baiken. And it's bullshit. Her original design was not sexualized at all. And even then, I don't give a fuck. The character has a cool story, all this other shit. I'm not taking the Baiken slander. Also, the best part of Baiken's character is her fucking hair. You tell me about her boobs at Tourist. Talk about her hair and how cool it is. Okay, now you're a Baiken fan. Now I acknowledge you as a Baiken fan. But the other characters are not really that sexualized. I mean, you could argue Dizzy. You could argue like Exar Dizzy, all that. But whatever. Dizzy's is like a fucking half gear character. Who cares? And she's cool anyway. And she got a cool ass design in Strive. Yeah. I think her Strive design's cool. Oh, come on, dog. Come on, man. And then the only chibi girl I could think that he's talking about is May. May is not that chibi. He's like, when I see chibi, this is what I think of, right? This would be chibi. Like the Makima Nendroid. That's chibi. May. I keep saying my. Oh my god. May is like the only character I can think he's talking about, but she's like a normal character. She has normal proportions. Like, this dude is like, if he was talking about Skullgirls, it would make more sense. Even though I kind of don't even think Skullgirls is a chibi art style either, but whatever.
You know what I'm saying? Then you got like the stereotypical heroic anime dude, and it's just, you're watching.
Dude, this is like insane. He's like describing Guilty in the most generic way when the game's like the most like punk rock game ever. It has like cool music. I mean, you can't tell me the music is bad. You're not serious if you tell me the music sucks. You're not a real person.
Watch it, like, I don't know, like growing up playing Street Fighter, then seeing girls,
what?
You know what I'm saying? Then you got like the stereotypical heroic anime dude, and it's just, you watch it like, I don't know.
I don't understand this reaction. You look at Guilty Gear. Okay, look. If I show you this, are you squinting? Are you like, I don't know about this, guys. I don't know. What if I show you this? What if I show you this? Are you like, I don't know. I don't know about this. What is this? Oh my god, you gotta put it back on the stand. It's bullshit. There we go.
I don't know, like growing up playing Street Fighter, then seeing Guilty Gear, I was like, this really doesn't appeal to me. Just visually, that's not what I'm looking for in a fighting game. And then it's funny because as the years passed, honestly, franchises like Street Fighter and Tekken started to absorb more of the very, very accentuated Japanese characteristics that I didn't really like about Guilty Gear. So it's kind of like I couldn't get away from it anyway.
But you did. I mean, look at fucking Street Fighter 6. And then, like, oh my god, they're all different. Like, they all have different styles. This guy is a dumb fuck.
Everything ended up having that style, right? But in general, if I'm going to choose a game, all right, if I'm going to say, hey, in the realm of fighting games, which one's more appropriate to me, I'm going to be like, it's Street Fighter, right? That's the one that visually appeals to me, so that's what I go towards. I'm not even talking about gameplay mechanics. I'm just saying how it looks, okay? So that's kind of what I mean when I say first appearances or first impressions are everything. The first thing you see of a video game is how it looks. And so if the visual style clicks with you and it appeals to you, you're probably going to be more interested in wanting to play the game.
Again, all he had to say was, "Oh, I saw Mugenics. I wasn't interested in it." Like, that's it. Like, dude, people could ask me, "Theo, are you gonna play Dark Souls 5?" And I would say, I'm not really that interested in like From Software games. Like maybe I'll check it out, but I'm not really into them. And that's it. Then I move on my merry way. This guy is like, okay, so the reason why I'm not interested in this game is because like it looks like doo-doo. Like, okay, dude, cool.
So when I was looking at the new games for this week, and I'm looking at, oh, Crizzle, wow, look at this. It's like breathtaking. The world design, everything is so detailed, nuanced, horror, and it's interesting. Shiny, flashy, gory,
Shiny.
scary, cool.
Again, shine keys in front of DSP's face, he'll clap at it. He'll be like, oh my god, fucking keys?
Mugenics. Looks like someone took a picture and like crumbled it up and shoved it up their ass and shat it out.
Again, like, I just don't get, like, this is like such baby behavior. Like, he says in the beginning, guys, everyone has their own opinion, you know, different strokes for different folks, blah, 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 right? And then he's like, oh, yeah. And all he had to say was he's not interested in it. Throughout his entire explanation of, like, fighting games, he was like, I look at Guilty Gear, and I'm like, I don't know, man, this ain't for me, man. Which is like, whatever. He talks about, we go back to Mugenics, and he's like, yeah, okay, Mugenics looks like so you wipe your ass with. Wow, why are you being so nasty? Did Jasper fucking shit in his mouth today or something? Like, what happened?
Here's Mugenics. It doesn't look good.
And the thing is, he has played other cat games. He played fucking Little Kitty Big City. He played Stray. Stray's probably the only one that looked visually good. Little Kitty Big City looked whatever. I want to say he looked at some other cat game and he was like clapping at it. I don't know, whatever.
It looks like a hyper distorted cartoon. It looks fucking weird. So immediately I'm turned off. Like the first impression I have is repulsion. Like, oh, what is
Really? This? What? Okay, let's go to the trailer again. Let's go to the trailer again. Oh, you know, I see. He saw this and was like, oh, this is too sexual for me. This is repulsion.
That cat gets all fat. Not too sure what's up with that. Genetics.
Yeah, this is repulsion. You saw this, you're like, oh my god, the cat is walking. Oh my god, like, dude, like, what are you talking about? And a lot of people would say this is like kind of like a cute art style, and this dude is like, and he has played games with like worse art styles. Like, I just can't take this dude seriously. Let's go to DSP Gaming. Let's just take a look at some of the amazing indie games he played, if we could find it. I mean, Rimworld's also kind of an ugly game too. Like, if we're gonna be real, oh my god, you wore glasses for a Helmart? Wow, Helmart's an ugly game too. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. People could say the same about Dragon Quest VII. Like, oh my god, and I think I feel like people did say that about Dragon Quest, but I'm not sure. Oh, it's that one game. Oh my god, I can't think of it now. What's the game? We're trying to find like aliens, and they're like they look like real people. I want to say the game is called like Rat Face, but it's not that. He played Quarantine Zone, which was an ugly game. Oh my god, Expedition 33? Dang. Arc Race could arguably be an ugly game. Let's see. Let's see if I can at least find an indie game. Oh my god. I feel like I'm just gonna I'm just gonna load time. I mean, Power Wash Simulator is also an ugly game. Like, I would look at Power Wash Simulator and think it's like a scam game. Like, some of the indie games he plays, they look like scam games. Like, you know, like, there was a game on fucking on the PlayStation Store that was called 6-7, and it was like only like $1, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Obviously, it's playing the meme of 6-7. and it's like this is on the PlayStation. I feel like they took it down at this point, but that was there. And like that's half the games he plays, and it's like, and yet I'm more charitable when I look at it. It's like not for me. Power Wash somebody, not for me, whatever. But this dude is like, oh my god, it looks like a game you whip your ass with.
What is this? Why did they make the game look like this? And then they say, oh, it's from the same makers of Super Meat Boy and Binding of Isaac. And you're like, oh, yeah, it kind of looks like that, too. You're right. Those games also had weird, distorted, mutated
and he played
graphics.
Those games. I don't know if he played Binding of Isaac, but he played Super Meat Boy.
Now, here's the thing.
Why did they make the game look like that? Yeah, why would they want to make a game using the art style that they've used for their other games that made them very popular? Why would they do that? Huh?
I get it. Variety is the spice of life. If everything were exactly the same, it'd be
and he literally told people, "Oh, you should just check games out. Don't be pea-brained or whatever the fuck." He said that about fucking Minecraft. Guys, I used to shit on Minecraft before I knew what the game was about. He is judging Mutagenics off of like a fucking trailer that I don't think it was the trailer I was watching that didn't show any gameplay. And he's basing an entire opinion off of that. And he's gonna say, first impressions. As this guy played Creasel, and then guess what happened? Guess what happened? He was disappointed with the game. He said it was a bait and switch. Isn't it ironic? The game he wrote off as an ugly game that looks stupid. He didn't play it. That is already being loved around the internet. Says it sucks and looks stupid. He looks at a game that has pretty graphics that was like $15, and then he was disappointed by it. Isn't it ironic?
Be boring. And just because I personally look at a game like Crizzle and I'm like, ooh, flashy, I want to play it, versus I look at Mutagenics, I'm like, oh, it's creepy. What is this shit? That doesn't mean that's...
What? So, he hyped up Creasel for being creepy and interesting. Mutagenics is creepy and that's bad. I mean, I get like the general meaning, like creepy could be many things, right? But it's still like come on, man, like it's a fucking video game, and like come on.
That's gonna be your reaction, and that's okay. I like the fact that everyone likes different things and has affinities for different things. And personally, if you really love,
but he puts it down so much, why say, oh, look at the thing you whip your ass with? Like you're telling people that like the game. Yeah, I think the game you like looks like something that you would like shove up your ass. Like that doesn't seem like you really have a fair opinion of it. But if you do the same thing about the games he likes, he'll shit on you for it. Oh, Expedition 33 looks like AI slop. You'll be like, it's actually art, okay? And art comes in many forms. And then you look at lots of stuff too. All right. Guys, art is not meant to make you feel bad. You're supposed to have fun. It's insane.
Super Meat Boy and you love Binding of Isaac, and maybe you played the shit out of those games. You look at a game like Mutagenics and you're like, wow, that appeals to me. But for me, I'm the opposite. Like, I haven't really played much of those games, even though I know what they are. So for me, it just didn't appeal at all. Now, very much what might happen is people today will be playing both games, and people will be like, whoa, Mutagenics is like super good. A gameplay loop is very addictive and fun, and you should play it. And if that's the case, you should tell me that, because I would like to play it then.
Oh my god, dude. You just told your chat it looks awful and disgusting, blah blah blah. And now it's like, well, you played Megapunk! Yes, that's not another game that looked ugly, which he also shat on! Like, this dude, it is insane. It's insane. And this is like a constant thing he does on many levels, where he'll just be so openly defiant of something, like to a sitcom level degree. Like he literally is that guy that's like, I'll never wear that sweater ever. And then the next scene he's wearing the sweater, and it's like really funny. That's in the entirety of DSP's comedy and DSP's mentality, not comedy, mentality, because he does this unironically, which is really fucking stupid. And this dude is like, yeah, if you guys think it's good, let me know. Oh my god, so then he can just say, wow, guys, oh my god, dude, guys, okay, this might have been staged. Hear me out. he had this segment shitting on eugenics and talking about first impressions, blah blah blah. He plays Greasel, says it's disappointing. His chat campaigns him to play eugenics. He plays eugenics Friday. As he's playing it, he's like, wow, this is really good. See, guys, first impressions don't mean everything. Isn't I wrong? Like, he's gonna make that same kind of like point or whatever to put down Crazel, because in DSP's life, he can never just praise a game. In order for him to praise a game, he has to put down another game. Like, that's where we're at. He has to put other people down to bring something up.
Okay, I'm not going to be completely biased and say, oh, I absolutely refuse to play this game simply because how it looks, but I'm just telling you my initial impression.
But he has done that with so many games. It's like infuriating sometimes. To an infuriating extent. He's like, well, I played Stellar Blade and I was right. He played it and he was bitching about like the dumbest things. Like, I don't like Stellar Blade, and I did not fucking bitch about it like he did. It's like, wow, you climb a ladder. Wow, so unique. And it's like, what is this criticism? Like, it was really like just being miserable for the sake of it. Like, it's like a baby being forced to eat broccoli. Like, oh my god, dude. Like, come on.
Impressions. I'm trying to be honest and transparent. It doesn't look good because it looks fucking weird. Maybe I'm completely off base and it's actually
You know what's
seriously
kind
good.
of funny? People are like bringing out like that as a light bulb head. And more, he's gonna look like a fucking giant infant. Think about it. An infant has a big head, like, to the point where, like, obviously, like, when you hold a baby, you want to like support the head because the baby's neck isn't that strong yet, right? That's how Neesman's gonna look. He's gonna look like a giant infant, and he acts like one too. It's gonna be perfect. He's gonna actually look the way he acts.
Good. And if that's the case, I would like to know that. So please share that information with me for those of you who will be checking it out today. I'm not against bringing it into the rotation, you know, maybe even as early as next week, because, for example, this Hellmark game is only like 6 hours long and we're 2 hours in. So we might beat it within another couple streams, you know. We'll have...
Oh my god, this is another thing he does. Dude, okay, so this is the other thing he does that's like, I always hate. I always get annoyed with this because it's like a degree of lying that he doesn't have to do, right? The only reason he's putting down eugenics is simply because he can't play it day one, so he can't get day one views, that he chose Creasel to be the day one view game. So he's like putting it down so his chat can like not bother him about it, and then say, well, after I beat Hellmark, I'll be open to play it. Why not just say why not just say that then? Like, this dude, he does this so much. It's like, dude, you're just saying this because you can't do it now. It's like you're like 13, and you're like, driving sucks. Driving is stupid. Fuck driving. When I turn 16, I will learn. It's like, yeah, you can't drive now, dumb fuck. Just wait until you're 16. Like, it's that kind of shit where it's just like, all you have to do is wait, and then he'll do the thing. It's so ridiculous.
We'll have open spots in the schedule. So I'd be okay with checking it out then. There you go. Okay.
Okay.
So, on top of that, all right, I'm curious about other games this week. For example, there's a new game from, is it Suda51, called Romeo is a Dead Man. Now, I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm gonna be honest. The game kicks ass. It's an amazing game. I love it. It's perfect. It is like what I've been wanting from a Suda51 game for so long. It's so good. Love the music. Outstanding. I love it. The character design is great. The name of the character is great. Oh my god, it's an amazing game. I want to play it right now. Like, dude, I'm like thinking about that game as I'm doing this video, but I want to do this video too. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. And you know, he wants to on Switch too. I hope it works out. But I hope it gets a Steam Deck port too, at least, like, or something. Because right now it says unsupported. I hope it gets supported in the future. Like, man, I want to play that game everywhere. I want to buy it again. I want to buy this game so many times.
When I was younger, 10, 15 years ago, when I started as a YouTuber, these kind of irreverent, over the top, over violent, over sexualized.
This guy is a fucking dumbass. Like, I'm just gonna say, I played enough Suda51 games. Like, I'm starting to play the Silver Case. I'm like on chapter 4, chapter 5. Like, I'm like, you know, that far into it. That game also, like, it's a visual novel and it's great. And he's like, oh, it's over sexualized. Dude, he makes like good kick-ass stories. Like, Travis Strikes Again is like a pseudo autobiographical game about game development. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you can kind of tell that Suda51 put his own like experience in that game. Like, you could just feel it. All this stuff, like, he falls for such like the outer trappings of what the game is. Like, he played like the games he played from Suda51 are this: a bullshit port of No More Heroes 1, which is Heroes Paradise, that was on the PS3. That is like the worst version to play. Play the one that's on the Switch and Steam right now. That's like the best version of No More Heroes. He played Lollipop Chainsaw. Lollipop Chainsaw is good. It's a good game. But right now, like, it's stuck with not the actual developer, unfortunately. But whatever. And that was a game that was like kind of like fine when it came out. Like, I don't think there was a lot of controversy with that game within development, I should say. He played Shadows of the Damned, which is like the game that made Suda51 consider like retiring. That's his extent. He played Killer is Dead as well, and Killer is Dead was another game that was kind of like butchered by the publisher. That he didn't, the Gigolo missions that were in Killer is Dead were forced onto him. Like, he did not want to put that in the game, but Crossseed, Xseed, whatever, is like, you need to put this in the game, and he's like, okay, I guess I have to. Like, that's the problem there. Killers is overall a whatever game. That's his experience. Now, I did start with No More Heroes, to be fair. That was like my first entrance to Suda51 games, but I didn't like it because of the gore or anything like that. It was actually an interesting game. The story was interesting. The ending was great. I could go on. I could do novels about why I love No More Heroes. I played No More Heroes 3. I played Killer 7. I'm playing The Silver Case. I'm playing Romeo's a Dead Man. I'm played Travis Strikes Again. I've loved all these games. Travis Strikes Again is like, I'm glad I'm seeing people come around on that game. It's a great game. It's a fantastic game. And this dude is like, yeah, he's irreverent. He does over sexual. That's not his style at all. Maybe to a pea-brain baby it is, but there's more to it than that. Like, come on.
Japanese style games from Suda51, they really kind of appealed to me. Like, I found they were interesting and fun. I've grown up.
But you know what's funny though? Like, this is kind of hilarious. I am surprised he's not even interested in Romeo's a Dead Man when you realize that there is, like, part of the inspiration to that game or influence, whatever, is Back to the Future. Back to the Future is like a big thing in that game. Like, Romeo and his and Benjamin are based off of the fucking main characters, basically. And this guy's like, yeah, I'm not interested. Dude, like, he should never play that game, because if he plays that game, he's just gonna sit there and talk about the fucking 80s over and over and over. Like, it's so obvious where the inspiration for that game is coming from. And he's like, yeah, it's just gonna be sexual humor. And it's not. It's actually like a very well thought game. And there's no sexualization. Like, you look at the game, do you see naked characters walking around? No. And that's not even Suda51 style. Like, this guy is so fucking dumb. But this guy has a media literacy of a fucking ant.
All right, so these kind of games now that are that level, I don't really...
And I love he says that he grew up now. As if Suda51 only makes games for babies. Like, fuck off, dude. Like, you don't even play his games. You don't even understand his games.
care that much about anymore. So I heard this game...
Also, he would hate the game anyway because it's all super duper polished. Like, every game he has played, like, if you play a Suda51 game, you understand the game is not going to be a fucking, like, smooth as butter experience. Like, there's going to be, like, some jank to it. Some worse than others, whatever. But this guy has always complained about the game for not being, like, a super buttery smooth game, but whatever.
This game was coming out, and I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, not really appealing. So, if again, this could be another situation where
You should never play
the
that
game actually is outstanding, but I just don't get it because it's not my style these days. But I don't want to miss it. So I would like to know again during the
gonna
course
miss
of
it.
this week,
The
as
game's
more
too
people
good.
play this game, is it worth my time or not? Let me know. Okay. Now I can tell you right now, a couple games that I'm absolutely skipping. I am not playing the new Mario Tennis game at all. I have zero interest in the new Mario Tennis game. It's a full-price Nintendo game that is not worth full price. It's going to be another Mario.
Okay, we're gonna.
I'm
move
not playing the new
forward.
Mario Tennis game. So that one is out. I'm definitely not going to play that game this week.
Okay.
There's even another game on top of that. Okay. Hold on, because I had to open. I guess I closed it. Shoot. Dragon Quest 7. That I could try to squeeze a Yakuza game in there. Yakuza 3 Kiwami.
Oh my god, you had to look that up.
I'm not playing that right.
Okay, what does Becca say? Romeo's a Dead Man looks fun, but honestly, I don't think I'd watch you play because of. Okay, all right. He doesn't want to get spoiled. Okay, I can
Now
respect
either.
that.
There's absolutely no way if I'm playing Dragon Quest 7 that I could try to squeeze a Yakuza game in there.
Yakuza.
There's just never going to work. Okay, so that I'm aware it's out, but I'm also not interested in that. All right, so please understand. I'm aware of all these games that are coming out. I know that they exist,
man.
but I just don't want everyone coming to the stream. Why aren't you playing this one? Why aren't you playing this one? There's
It's
good
so-
reason.
it's so funny
okay?
that how
We're gonna
fast
start with
RGG,
Frizzle.
like,
I'm keeping my ear to the ground
ran
listening about
their good
eugenics and about
faith
this
all the
Romeo
way
is a
to the
dead man. If they end
ground.
up being
It's
good, maybe I'll
insane.
play them. For me, the next major thing in February is
Resident
on
Evil.
February 17th. My Virtual Boy should be
Oh.
here. I already paid,
Okay, we're hyping up.
and I'm going to
Virtual
play
Boy.
Virtual Boy games,
Okay.
boy, and it has absolutely zero aspects of virtual reality. What it is a 3D
This is so dumb. It's called Virtual Boy. It's not called Virtual Reality Boy. Like,
console. Colors, which is funny. Like, how many years later, now you're finally going to add different colors
they couldn't add colors back then. You realize that they couldn't patch the console, right?
to the
Oh
thing?
my god. Okay.
So I'm excited for that. That's going to be right around the middle of the month, the 17th. Okay, and then there's another game called Styx Blades of Green. I forget what that is. We'll add in something.
Six blades in green. Oh, like. This? This is the game?
I can trace the location of multiple.
Okay, this is gross, man. Ew. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not like a huge fantasy guy, so whatever.
Thing. And then Virtual Boy stuff, and then Resident Evil at the end of the month.
Okay.
It's going to be a Retrothon here on.
Alright,
That's what we need.
Okay, are we done?
Alrighty.
I feel like there was more, but I'm gonna move on to the main course because this was truly an insane podcast. Like this was insane. This was truly one for the books.
That I want to now reveal to all of you for this year's changes to my content. Yesterday was kind of an interesting and important day for me because not only was I trying out an indie game, the likes of which I likely would have skipped in the past before this year's changes to my content that I've instituted.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this. Creasol would be a game he would have played back then, regardless. Like he keeps saying, "I would never do this." That would be true if he played Eugenics, honestly, because literally, Creasol had checked all the boxes that DSG looks for in a game. He has played games like Creasol in the past. He played Atomic Heart. He played oh my god, he played another game. But yeah, I mean, Atomic Heart's one of the games that he played and then dropped. But he played another game that was like a similar game to another genre he likes. Whatever. He has done these kind of games before. Like, and I didn't think about this. Hold up. Hold the phone. Oh man, that was an important call. At least the call made sense. I did have to take that. it was actually an important call, but now everything's like shocking me. It's bullshit. Hopefully, the audio is not gonna be fucked up. Let's see if it is.
But
Okay, I don't think it is. It's at least showing up in OBS. I'll have to open the video file later to make sure the audio's not fucked up on that end. So, okay.
also, I tried something different during the stream.
Now I gotta think what I was talking about. Oh my god. Oh, it threw me off because the other thing is like the Stream Deck shocked me. It rebooted itself, but yeah, Creasol is a game he would have played anyway. Like if this was last year, he would have played it. Oh my god, you know, like vacuum. I'm like scatterbrained right now. Oh my god, I'm discombobulated. Guys, I'm brain-addled. But this dude literally would have played Creasol if this game came out last year, the year before, or whatever. Because guess what? He'd say, "Well, there's no BioShock, so this will be this year's BioShock. This is the real BioShock, guys." He did that with another RPG or whatever, another game that he played. He was like, "Oh, since we're not getting this game, this is the game that we're playing because they're making the sequel on like the actual developer or whatever the fuck."
That I want to now reveal to all of you to let you know how it went. But after I finished that,
And then to say like, "Oh my god, dude."
so I tried something different during the stream that I want to now reveal to all of you.
And all he tried was not begging. The same experiment he did last year when his pets died or whatever. Like this is a really stupid experiment, and it just like it's really stupid. Just in short, it's dumb as fuck.
All of you to let you know how it went. But after I finished that stream playing Crizzle Theater of Idols, I made a 10-minute video to give my honest thoughts about the game, and some people seem upset.
And oh my god, this is like petty and nitpicky, but he always be like, "So I did this and people seem upset." Like he always like does the eye corner thing, and it's like so obnoxious. He has like the most obnoxious fucking mannerisms. Like it's really like he was made in a lab. Like someone's like, "I'm gonna make a person with the most obnoxious mannerisms known to man and put it into one person, and this is what you get." Like, look at this.
After I finished that stream playing Crizzle Theater of Idols, I made a 10-minute video to give my honest thoughts about the game, and some people seem upset.
They seem upset. All people said was like, "Oh, I don't think you're right on this. I played it and it's pretty good." Like whatever. Like people like this is the thing that's funny to me is that DSP always says, "I want meaningful conversations. I want comments. Tell me what you think." They tell him what he thinks. They're upset. They're freaking out. Let's check out. We'll use this. DSP Gaming. Let's go to the infamous video. Yes. And by the way, he calls it a bait and switch. Like, I kind of don't think that's like accurate to say that's a bait and switch, but anyways. Oh my god, he got is this the actual developer? Oh my god, it is. Now get milked, Blumhouse. You're gonna get milked by this guy. You have welcome to pest to your fucking garden. Oh my god. But they didn't respond. But I like he says, "Hey, thanks for playing the game. I think you should play a bit further." Yeah, he played 3 hours. Like, what more do you think, like, what do you think is gonna be the reaction? He played only 3 hours of the game. And then it's like, perhaps they should be at, wait, what? A bit further, at least, there are multiple other enemies in the game and weapons. Perhaps they should be at the beginning, so the game is actually fun to play. I love that he's like pretty much calling the game boring to the developer's face, when the developer didn't really see anything like egregious. Like the developer's like, "Thanks for playing. Maybe we should get a little bit further." Like, But whatever. And he says they should be at the beginning. He was upset that the game wasn't like constantly dangling keys in front of his face. Like, look at this, come on, do this, boom. Like, you know when we play like Call of Duty and they have all these like fucking pop-ups to make you feel like to get like endorphins going, or you're gonna be sitting there like, oh my god, prestige, oh my god, level 5, whoa, you're gonna want to keep playing. Like, that's DSP. He wants constant treats. That's what he wants. These YouTubers playing less than a quarter of a game, then come out with their very reliable reviews. This is probably the most negative, honestly, if you think about it. It's meant to be a review of the early hours of the game. As clearly stated in the title, if the game didn't hold enough interest to be played more than a single stream, that probably says something about the game. Now, I want you to think back. He has complained. I mean, maybe this is off of feelings, guys, but he has shat on reviews that specifically say, oh, this is a review after so many hours, or whatever. And he has complained about these reviews, and look what he's doing. Look at your guy. And if someone watched 30 minutes of a film review, like, so far, all they're complaining is that he's judging the game way too soon. And, like, if he said this was an impression, fine. But he may say that after the fact now, but, like, whatever. Not a bad take, the game is great. What's he gonna say? And you're entitled to that opinion, to each their— oh my god, dude, this is, like, fucking— oh my god, this is such a, oh, what do you call it? Like, a kind of cop-out. It's like, you know, it's like, oh, that's just your opinion, bro. Like, okay, man, cool. No, I'm actually obligated to play an entire— I am not obligated to play an entire game to tell you that the first 3.5 hours are boring. But honestly, if you look at how he played the game, is it really the game? Is it really the game? Because you see how this guy plays games. He fucking stands around all the time. But whatever. But yeah, it's just, so far it's just people are just kind of criticizing his take. You get the shotgun in like 2 hours in. It's in the gun shop, whatever. Tell him how to get a shotgun. And this guy's like, no, I got the bolt cutters. Then I couldn't get the shotgun. Okay, man, like, that's a you problem. 2 hours in, I got a second gun. Two people have come forward about a fucking shotgun in the game. And just people are just saying that they disagree with him. Which is like, you know, the kind of engagement he wants, right? I'm enjoying the game and willing to continue playing it. If it isn't your cup of tea, that's fine. Calling it a bait and switch is total clickbait. Yes! It is total clickbait. This dude is literally playing a game. And then he says it's a bait and switch. The trailer didn't say, we are like BioShock. It's just showing you enemies in the game. Like, it'd be a bait and switch if he played the game and it was a visual novel. Like, that would be a bait and switch. But it's not. This dude throws terms out willy-nilly with no care of what they mean. I played a few hours myself, and, like, oh my god, this guy wrote an entire novel. Oh, not a novel, but a paragraph. I'm getting what I thought I'd get. An action horror steeped in Catholic-esque mythos and a lot of gore. That's it. That's all I assumed the game would be. I guess you figured there would be more guns and explosions, tons of exciting set pieces. Yeah, the way he talked about this game, he expects set pieces. Now, he compares it to BioShock. I don't necessarily know how frequent the game gives you abilities in that game or whatever, but I think that game's also slow in its own way. Like, but whatever. But I love how special he feels. People they don't like it. Nobody said that. The only thing they didn't like about the video was that he called it a review after 3 hours. They're like, this is not like adequate time to really judge a game. There's that. There is the title being called a bait and switch. Like, these are active criticisms about how he made the video. Not anything to do with what he said. if anything, they just think that it wasn't his type of game. And look how he paints it. Look how he paints
I
it.
finished that stream playing Crizzle Theater of Idols. I made a 10-minute video to give my honest thoughts about the game, and some people seem upset. To be honest,
Nobody's upset. And again, he asked for an engagement. These people give him engagement. He's like, why are they shitting on me? Like, dude, read the fucking comments. But the thing is, he reads them and he misinterprets the tone. Like, you could say, I don't think it's a bait and switch. I think you're jumping the gun by reviewing it like within 3.5 hours. I think you should play more of it. I have no obligation to play the game. You are just butthurt. And it's like, Jesus, dude. Like, what the fuck? Calm down.
to be honest, all right, I feel like right now,
Like, again, like, he doesn't get like held up by like trying to understand the tone. Like, there are times where you can simply misread a comment and misinterpret it. But the thing is, people in his own chat could try to like clarify the tone or what they were saying, and it may be too late. He will read too much into it by that point. Like, that's like what's kind of unfair about it.
on the internet, there is a bandwagon movement, a cultural mentality.
This is so stupid. This part, I'm gonna be real. This kind of made me want to do the video, and this is why I also wanted to throw in the first half, because I wanted to show really how he reacted to these two indie games, and then how he's gonna be talking about this. This part is truly insane. Like, I just like it's so clear projection. Because going back to last year, and look how he talked about the indie games. Oh my god, guys! AAA didn't make it to the Keighley Awards. They were not even talked about. Guys, AAA is over. Indie game is here to stay. Guys, now it's the indies. Indies are taking over. And look at it. And again, he keeps talking about indie games as if they're like a fucking like poverty class, or they're fucking special needs kids, or like whatever. And it's like, indie is just a designation on like a development size. Like, oh, 5 people worked on this game, 1 person worked on this game, whatever. They're not getting the actual like funding of a AA, AAA game. Whatever. Like, it's different in other ways. But at the same time, guess what, guys? Everyone understands that indie games also have bad indie games. Like, this guy thinks that everyone sits there and just says endless praise to just indie games. But that doesn't happen. Only he does that. Because if you look at the Game Awards, there were people who disagreed with calling Expedition 33 an indie game. If he fucking cared, he would have known that. And this is not the first time that people have questioned a consideration for an indie game. It was like Dave the Diver, I think. They were like, oh, this game's not really indie because Ubisoft is backing it or whatever. There's all these things that are going on, and even within like the nominations, it's like some people may not even think Megabunk deserved the nominations in some categories. Some people think Hades 2 should have gotten it, and others. Whatever. There are people who also said Hades 2 isn't that good. Like, there are so many opinions out there. It is like insane that this guy thinks nobody's criticizing indie games. When I have seen like fucking Twitter accounts shown on this one indie game I played, Unbeatable. It is not a great game. I liked it, but it's not like I wouldn't recommend it. Like, it's not a it is very janky and it doesn't perform well on console. I would say maybe buy it on PC if you're that interested in it for a rhythm game, but there's a lot of like weaker parts in it, but I kind of enjoyed it for what it is, right? But I wouldn't say it's like an amazing game or anything like that. But I have seen people like that just dog on that game, and it's like, this game is stupid. I can't remember the exact point that this account made said about it, but it's like, dude, this was like made by a small team, and it's like, yeah, like it's janky, but it was like the degree of hatred the game got, I thought was a little bit like unnecessary. Like, it's like, I don't know. I can't remember. I forgot where I was gonna go with that, to be honest, because I've seen this like years ago. I guess it's like they were saying it's indie slop. They were calling Unbeatable indie slop. Like, that is a ongoing discourse for other games. Unbeatable, I mean, sure, you may see it as indie slop, but I think it's like a straightforward game. Like, I thought it was like fine for what it is, but they were dogging on it for being indie. I don't know, whatever. Let's move on. I don't know why.
that says, hey,
I don't know what life is.
favor the
anymore.
indie game, kiss the indie game's butt, play the indie game.
Okay, that's the point. Nobody, like, okay, oh my god, now I remember what my point was, why I brought that up. Because they were dogging on that game. If this notion of kissing the indie game's butt was a thing, why wasn't everyone kissing its butt? Right? Why was the Twitter account calling Unbeatable indie slop? Why were they shitting on the game? If there's a movement to say every indie game's a masterpiece. Like, come on. Come on.
Criticize, smash, say negative things about the AAA.
That's what he does. That's what he did all last year. It's ridiculous. But again, this is projection. This is all he does. These podcasts, when he does these kind of rants, is just projection. So he could come out as a wise person. Like, dude, listen to
Indie game.
this.
Kiss the indie game's butt. There is a bandwagon movement, a cultural mentality.
And the only thing that this is a bandwagon movement, a cultural mentality, blah blah blah, is because there were just people simply saying that, oh, indie games are really where the games are because there's more variety. Like, that's what they're saying. There's more variety within indie games. You can get a bad indie game, a good indie game, a great indie game, whatever. AAA is confined and suffocated by investors making the budget back. Can this be palatable to everyone? Can everyone beat this game? Whatever. There's a lot of hurdles in the AAA industry that are generally kind of unfair in the medium. To have these many hurdles they get to make this game to begin with. I mean, it's a whole thing. That's why they say go to indie games, because you have more variety and you'll find more judges, because they have more of a freedom to make a game they want to make for the most part. Like, that's why they tell you to go to indie games. And he thinks that translates as praise the game, suck its dick. That's not what people are saying at all.
That says, hey,
It really is like you tell a baby, eat your broccoli, and the baby's gonna interpret that as, I don't want to be a vegetarian. No, we're not saying that. We're just saying eat broccoli. Try vegetables. We're not saying to forsaken meat. We're saying try vegetables.
hey, favor the indie game, kiss the indie game's butt, play the indie game, criticize, smash, say negative things about the AAA.
Nobody says this. And people are already shitting on AAA before. This is insane. Now he's acting as if this is the first time people are shitting on AAAs to this extent. This has been going on since the PS3 era. The PlayStation 3, when that was a new game. A new console, basically. People were shitting on AAA. Like, come on. It got more popular in the PS4 era. Like, it was a snowball thing at that point.
But if it's indie, you must be nice. No.
When you read these fucking comments, did any of these people say, Phil, it's an indie game. Why don't you be charitable? Why are you shitting on it? Where were these comments? Why can't I find these comments, Phil? Where are the, it's an indie game? Can you, leave it alone? No one is saying that.
Sorry. That's not who I am. That's not who I'm ever going to be. As you know,
This is all forcing a narrative to make it seem that he is I'm the outspoken, honest guy. That's all this is. He's just forcing this talking point into reality when nobody was even saying this in the first place. He loves being seen as the guy that speaks the truth. even though he isn't.
Over 17 years that I've been a gaming content creator on YouTube, I have always told it like it is. I don't pull punches. I don't sugarcoat. I don't favor any.
He does pull punches. There has been games he has played where he literally said, well, he actually did that. You know, he actually did talk about, like, oh, it's an indie game. You gotta give some slack, whatever. He has said this thing. There was also a rant. There's a channel that Meerkat Tevin brought up, DSP Rants or whatever. He uploaded a rant that DSP had about critics criticizing Alone in the Dark. That Alone in the Dark had that Steve Harbour in it, and he shat on it. Let's go to. I think I subbed to that channel. Where is it? DSP Reacts. Where is it? Not Reacts. Rants. Here it is. Let's see. By the way, I kind of want to go through the oldest. Like, look at these. These are like completely different. Like the guy probably uploaded his gameplay with DSP in the background. I kind of want to see what some of these rants are. I'm gonna be honest. But let's adult content. Oh my god, dude, this is crazy. Dude, like these rants, they bring back memories. Remember the fucking gaming news?
And I guess that's played by an actress who's been in other shows that I haven't seen. I've seen Stranger Things, so that's why I recognize David Harbour. You know, it's funny because the critics panned the game. They really did. Critics were saying this is like a 6 out of 10. It's a bad, outdated, boring, crappy game. Okay? I couldn't disagree more. The thing is, there is a place for games like this in the gaming space, but sadly, games journalists just look for the same kind of game over and over.
Wait, Phil, but what are you... They're just telling you like it is. They're just saying what everyone is thinking. They're just saying that that it's just not good. Why are you shitting on it? So they're criticizing an indie game and you're complaining? Wow.
If it's not Resident Evil, they don't even want to talk about it. Seriously. Oh, it's not Resident Evil? Oh, well then it's terrible. 5 out of 10. Like
He played Chrysal and said this isn't BioShock, boring game, bait and switch. That's DSP's review of Chrysal. It wasn't BioShock, fuck this game. And he's shitting on these reviews. Dude, none of this ages well for him at all.
Do you understand survival horror? Do you understand the appeal of it? There's two things that appeal in survival horror.
All right.
The first thing is an eerie atmosphere with a well-written, suspenseful plot and creepy stuff that happens. 100% Alone in the Dark has that. The other thing is scares. And Alone in the Dark has scares. It's got enemies that jump out of nowhere, jump scares and stuff.
This dude is insane. It really is. Like, this is a different guy. This is someone else. This isn't DSP. This is someone else. Like, oh my god, it's crazy. It's crazy.
For anything, I'm honest. And so, if I play a game and I feel that we are in some kind of a situation where
we're in a situation right now, guys,
the game is not representative or is misrepresenting what it is to try to get sales, if the game doesn't live up to expectations.
But this is like bullshit though, because the trailer did not say anything about BioShock. You inferred that on your own. Like, you're really blaming the game for how you took it? That's, like, insane. Like, this is, like, nonsense. It's like, dude, I saw the trailer for a Silksong. I thought it was a cartoon, but it's a video game, huh? Fuck this.
That has laid out for itself, okay? I'm going to be honest about it. All right? And you might say, well, what are you talking about? So, yesterday I played Crizzle Theater of Souls, okay? It is an indie game. It's made by a small studio, although the game was funded by Blumhouse, a company that makes high-profile horror movies. This is one of their first...
high profile from Blumhouse? I don't know about that one. I mean, they just kind of pump out whatever. I would not say they're high profile at all. They make a lot of slop movies out there. I mean, didn't they make Megan? And, yeah, Megan.
Actual investments in a video game. Okay? Crizzle Theater of Souls presents itself in all of its promotional materials, notably its big launch trailer, as a game that's going to be high action, okay, with tons of weapons, abilities, variety of enemies, and scares, okay? When you play the game, the first hour to hour and a half is actually really good atmosphere building of laying out the story and the environment and the elements of the things that the game's going to be. And then for the next 2 hours, the game is completely identical, doesn't try to do anything different, doesn't give you any new weapons, doesn't give you any abilities, doesn't even give you a single new enemy to fight.
Again, people told him in 2 hours you could get a shotgun. Whatever. But the trailer is selling the entirety of the game. Like, this would make sense if he beat the game and was like, oh man, there's not a lot of variety or whatever. Like, you know, like God of War, right? The 2018 release of it. I don't remember Ragnarok that well, but I remember in 2018 they reused a lot of the enemies. And where was the ESP saying, oh, they reused enemies?
Fight. It just gives you the same regurgitated crap over and over. The game suffers from what you should be calling terrible pacing. Okay? Awful pacing.
I hate when you talk about pacing. I don't think he knows what the fuck it means. He just says it every which way. Like, move on.
Pacing. Whoever the game director was should have known better and say, hey, I understand atmosphere and building up suspense, but who wants to sit around for 3.5 hours with a single handgun shooting the same repetitive enemies over and over with almost no change in the environment, no change to gameplay mechanics?
You know, in Resident Evil 4, when you play the game, you can actually miss the shotgun. Like, that's what happened to me when I played the game for my very first time on the GameCube. I did not know if you go in that one house where it triggers the chainsaw man, the chainsaw guy, to show up. The chainsaw man. You can get a shotgun there. I never did that in my playthrough, in my first playthrough. I just went around the village and just did that, and then they left, right? Never got it, moved forward, moved past it. Because you can buy the shotgun at the merchant, so like it's intended that you could miss it or get it for free, whatever. And it's like, but I'd never said, wow, guys, Resident Evil 4 sucks. The pacing is terrible. All I had was a pistol. It's like, yeah, I stuck with the game because everything else was great. But that also had like an interesting piece. But that was a very arcadey game as well, right?
Mechanics. It's the same crap for 3.5 hours. It's boring. Okay? So I relayed that not only in my stream of the game that I was playing, but also in my reaction video after the fact, where I clearly stated I feel the game is a bait and switch after 3.5 hours of gameplay. It says that, like, right in the title of the video, so no one would get the impression that I actually played the entirety of this game. I played the first portion, and that's the impression I got, right?
Yeah, but you realize that when you make that, like, he calls it a review. Maybe call it an impression then, right? But it's too late because even in the video he says it's a review. So like he could change the title after the fact and it wouldn't matter because he says a review in the video. But then it's an impression because you realize that could be wrong, right? An impression can still be wrong. Like I got the impression that Romeo's the Dead Man is my game of the year for this year, and maybe by the end I'm gonna somehow hate the game. Somehow.
So basically, after having played this game, here's how the audience reacted. Very similar to how I reacted, okay? The first hour to hour and a half, we were intrigued. Ooh, it's an interesting setup. It's kind of creepy. The idea that two cults are going at each other is kind of interesting, all right? Then when it's 2 more hours of the same, we all got bored. It wasn't just me saying that. Everyone watching the stream got literally bored of the game. We were like, this is just not it, you know? Why you keep playing this? It's so boring. It's the same thing over and over. And now here's the thing. I played 3.5 hours. Maybe if I had played 5 hours or 6 hours, there would have been more to it. I mean, we found the shotgun. We just hadn't been able to unlock it yet. It looks like the game's going to force
So he found it, but he couldn't unlock it yet.
you to do a lot of gameplay and backtrack to get the shotgun. How many more weapons are there in the game? I don't know. Are there ever any more abilities in the game besides just refilling your bullets with blood? I don't know. But the thing is, in 2026, game developers need to understand one critical thing, because it's very simple. You need to hook the gamer within the first couple of hours to let us know why we want to keep playing your game. You can't have an insanely long, drawn-out intro where you're building and building and building. We got better things to do.
This is such a dumb statement to make. I really hate people like this. Where they talk about how their time is meaningful and they can do better things to do. Dude, you're playing a video game. That is like the most wasteful thing. Like if you really care about the value of time, playing video games inherently is a waste of time. Like, just off the bat, already you're wasting time because whatever you do in a video game does not affect real life. I mean, sure, arguably, what DSP does for when he plays a video game, it is, like, affect his real life because he gets paid to do it. But here's the thing, though. What is he not doing? Like, if he's not playing a game, what is he not doing? He's not doing his job. He's playing Creasol, and he's getting paid to do it. Like, I've never heard any of these people who stream games complain about how games are like, this is wasting my time. I could be doing whatever. They usually just move on to something else or come back to it later or whatever the fuck. Like, this dude is so lame. Like, dude, you took 4 hours to play a video game. Like,
right? Our time is valuable, and we don't want to sit around waiting for there to possibly be a payoff when you're asking so much of us when it comes to time investment. Sorry, I want to know what's good about your game before I...
Like, I've heard this argument. Like, the only thing I'll be charitable with this argument is if it's someone who has a job, right? Like, you work at 9 to 5, you have a hard day, you come home, like, yeah, you may not want to sit and sit through, like, hours of dialogue or whatever. Like, that may not be like the mood you're in all the time, right? Like, I could understand that, and you may want a shorter experience so you kind of like just, you know, play it, beat it, move on to another game, whatever. Like, I understand that point when it comes to like other people who have other things to do, jobs or whatever. DSP plays video games for a living. A living. Like, he has, by definition, nothing else to do. Like, what else is he doing in this time? But what's infuriating to me is that he sits there and every time he talks about a game, I just want to sit and relax. Dude, this is your job. You're doing this as a job. Like, you're not relaxing. Like, why should he be paid to relax? And he always says, I'm busting my ass. And then he's like, I just want to sit here and play video games and relax with all of you. I like busting your ass. What is it? It's so sporadic. But whatever, okay.
Before I've invested 10 hours in it. I mean, we've talked about this time and time and time again over the years. Do you remember a game that actually was really good, actually had great world design, interesting story, great gameplay elements, decent graphics, but flopped miserably? The game was called Days Gone, okay? The reason
Wait, what?
actually had great world design, interesting story, great gameplay elements, decent graphics, but flopped miserably. The game was called Days Gone, okay? The reason Days Gone flopped was because it was a zombie survival game with drama and survivors and different storylines set in a post-apocalyptic world. It was open world, it was third person, it had cool survival mechanics, combat mechanics, taking on giant mobs of zombies and things you've never really done in a game before. The problem was...
Yeah, you never took down hordes of zombies in a game before. That's never been done before. Yeah, Days Gone really invented the wheel on that one.
It took over 12 hours of repetitive base destruction gameplay before you got to the good parts. And most people tapped out before they played for 12 hours.
And guess who bitched about that? This guy! He has complained that people do not give Days Gone a fucking chance at all. And he mocked people for that. He has mocked people for having ADD, ADHD, like him saying that he wants constant engagement or constant stimulation. He has mocked people for wanting that. multiple times. Like he like whatever. I mean, that's half the reason why he didn't want to play Megabuck initially, because he thought it was a ADD game where people are throwing pixie sticks and all this other shit. Like that's DSP. But when it's like a game but then when a game he doesn't like is slow, he's like, yeah, it's slow. It should be constant simulation. Okay.
Most game reviewers outright stated we stopped playing this game because it's so boring within the first few hours. You need to have good pacing.
But the thing is, it wasn't just the pacing of the gameplay that people were saying was boring, because it was the story. Like, even the story was boring from start to finish. People were like, I don't give a fuck about this guy. This is a very generic story. There's nothing interesting about Days Gone. Like, it is from top to bottom. And this dude is acting as if it was just the gameplay was the only hurdle in Days Gone.
To have a game that's going to be successful in the modern era. Crizzle does not have that. It takes the opposite route, and it very well may have good elements later in the game. It doesn't matter, because, folks, what people need to start understanding, particularly game developers and even TV show writers, is that the most valuable aspect...
Have DSP control media. Oh my god, dude, you would have terrible stuff. Like, oh man.
In life at this point is not money, it's time. Crizzle is a cheap game. The game is under $20.
Again, he brings this up a lot, but it kind of like shoots himself in the foot, like, to obliteration, when he has described his own content as filler. Yes, like, okay, let's get really petty. Let's go to Pig Go. Let's see. Wait, let's just say filler. Oh god. He does say it a lot, but you know what? Actually, there's a lot of like reasons to use that word. So this is dumb. I'm not gonna waste my time searching for him calling his content filler content. But he has said it. He has said, yeah, I only play this game just so we can fill time. I'm doing this to fill time. Wait, that may, oh my god. Fill time. Oh no, I think, uh-oh.
So,
I hate it does that. So, like...
So, that's the thing. Now, if I play that, so now you're talking Ninja Gaiden 4, Vampire the Masquerade. This is definitely the month for it. They're releasing it. Loved the game. It played like a great survival horror game. Lots of awesome elements to it. So, I'm excited for it. I definitely am playing it. This is definitely the month for it. They're releasing it at exactly the right time. So, that's the thing. Now, if I play that, so now you're talking Ninja Gaiden 4, Vampire...
Okay, I don't think this is, like... kind of fill time. Okay, this might be it. This might be a good one.
Content to fill time until there's new release. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, Dino Crisis, right? Or Street Fighter 6 and Call of Duty. These are not new releases. This is just, it's content to fill time until there's new releases.
To fill time? What? Why is CSP wasting our time with old releases? Why doesn't he do something engaging with us? Why are we doing stuff to fill time? And he also described doing these little dumb fuck podcasts, or when he was doing the pre-stream as well, he said, like, he speaks in a way to fill time. That's why he says a lot of filler words. Like, this dude fills so much time and wastes so much time of his viewers, and he's sitting there on his fucking little baby seat. Oh yeah, stop wasting our time. Stop wasting our time. And this guy wastes so much of time. All the damn time.
And a lot of people have given me flack in this video that I made about Crizzle, saying, Phil, you're being way too harsh. This isn't a AAA game that they're charging $7.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that in these reviews. Maybe in passing. Maybe in passing he said this. They said this. Oh my god. Oh my god, what the fuck? Dude, this is crazy. But yeah, I've not seen a single person bring up, Phil, it's an indie game. Phil, leave it alone. Never seen that. Never seen that in these fucking comments. And he's acting as if people are like yelling at him and canceling him for this opinion.
$70.
Like, they're just saying the video is a bullshit video because first off, it's not a bait and switch because he didn't make it that far in the game to even know if it is or isn't. And they didn't think it's adequate enough time. Like, they're actually engaging with the video. The thing he wants. And he's saying like, and this is like, he wants meaningful content and this and that. Half of that is having discussion that people may disagree and you can like talk about it, but he takes it such an attack. He can't handle it.
$50 for, and you're acting like that in this video. It's a game that's under $20. You should really give it a pass. No.
He has given games a pass for that price point in the past. Like, literally. That's what Game Pass was. Well, this game is whatever, but it's a Game Pass game. It's a good Game Pass game. It's a good Game Pass game. Even though you're spending, like, what, $20 a month for the service? Yeah, it's good for that. It's good for a subscription service. Oh, it's good for this. Like, he has done the same thing. But since people are kind of pushing back on this fucking video, it's like, well, you guys are telling me that I should kiss his butt. Where did it say that? Where?
You don't get a pass. It doesn't matter if your game costs $1, $15, $70, or $150. If your game is boring, it's always boring. I'm sorry.
But then why say, well, if Mario Kart World wasn't $80, and if it was, he said 30, which is like cartoonishly low, 30 or 20, it was something ridiculous. I'm like, no way, that, like 40, okay, maybe. 50, sure. 60, maybe, right? Whatever. But he wanted cartoonishly low. You're telling me if that game was like $20, he'd be like, wow, this game is great. Yeah, fucking right.
Sorry, but I don't want to pay any money for a game that is boring and isn't a fun experience. Therefore, I have the right to criticize it. Now, the thing is, right now, in the gaming community and online, there is a mentality to say indie games are better because they're cheaper. Indie games are better because they're not.
No. The reason why they say indie games are better because they're cheaper is because literally, games are getting so expensive right now. Indie games are not like $80 or $70 or whatever. Like, they're actually affordable and you can get more variety within indie games. These are very nuanced, like, not nuanced for you and me, like normal people, but nuanced for babies like Phil that can't comprehend the what people are actually saying when they bring up the price point of certain games. Like he's not at that level yet. Maybe in 40 years he'll understand.
They're not AAA with giant bloated budgets, and they're not samey, and they don't copy what everyone else did and put out another game just for profits. Therefore, you should kiss their butt. No, I'm not going to do that.
Because again, you notice that those kind of like buzzwords and buzzword praise is only used when people play an actual good game, right? Like Silksong, Hollow Knight, what else? I mean, maybe Bujanks will be that game in the future. Like, eventually people are gonna like come up with an overall feeling about the game, but right now it's like too early to tell. What else? Like, I kind of feel like with Hades 2, like I'll glaze that game up to all the way, even though there is flaws in it. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a perfect game, but it does a lot of things very well. And it's worth the money. I think it's worth playing. Like, I get the disappointment with the ending, but I think like overall it's worth playing. Like, if you like the first game, the second game is like a better gameplay version of that. But whatever. Like, these are like how people talk about these indie games, and he's acting as if like people don't criticize these indie games. But look how he talked about Midnight Fight Express. This guy was like jumping up and down. He did a short for it. Midnight It's a good game. It's an amazing game. I played that game, didn't go back to it, didn't care about it. Like, it was a whatever beat 'em up. I kind of didn't care about it. It's whatever. It's not bad, but it's like it never, nothing clicked with me in that game. I don't know why. Maybe it was the visual style. Like, it just nothing like clicked with me. But this guy was acting as if like this game was like a gift from God, and he's telling other people are like being drones about it. This guy got swayed so hard to like praise the fuck out of like Expedition 33. He only played Megabunk, but the only indie games he goes out of his way to play and find are Slop, Sim Slop, and horror games that are similar to other games he knows. He keeps comparing other indie games to other games, and he would play him like, well, since we're not getting this game from the AAA, this game is doing this. Like that's how he marketed Project Scarlet. Since Capcom's not giving us Dino Crisis, this is Dino Crisis. And then he played it and he said it was terrible, and he never went back to it, even though they patched it supposedly and all this other shit. He never went back to it.
Crizzle is a game that presents itself as an action-packed, Bioshock-esque game when you watch its promotional materials. I didn't make the promotional materials, they did. So if they didn't want that game to look like that, they shouldn't have presented it like that. Seriously?
That is so stupid. The trailer they put out showed the gameplay of it. You thinking it's like Bioshock is not their fault. That's your fault. Like, come on. And even then, like, it can look like Bioshock, doesn't mean it's gonna be a carbon copy of it. Like, I just don't quite understand. This guy wanted Chrysal to be a carbon copy of Bioshock. So then what? He's gonna say, oh, this game is just like Bioshock. But then when a game tries to be something different, he gets back. Look how you talk about Romeo's the Dead Man. That game is so different and so unique. It does so many things different. Like, the way you upgrade Romeo is like so unique. Like, they made it into like this like game where you move this little machine, and how many experience points you have is how far it can go. And it's so different. It is actually more unique than any other skill tree I've seen in a game. Like, this game doesn't do skill tree. Like, the only generic skill trees you find are the ones for your weapons. But the character is not a unique skill tree. It's not a skill tree at all. It's like a little mini game. And this guy's like, yeah, man, this game looks stupid and it looks like this. And then he's like, but then you talk about these other indie games like Chrysal. It's not like this other game. What the fuck? Why does he want all these indie games to just be carbon copies of AAA? All he wants, I guarantee you, he's not going to say it directly, but he wants indie games to be cheaper carbon copies of AAA games. Like, he sees it as like knockoff games. It's so gross. And this guy he wants to pretend to be a gamer. Such a fucking fake gamer. That's why he likes the game that started it all. Oh, I like Super Turbo because that's where fighting games really started. Link to the Past, that's where Zelda really started. Like, fuck off. You don't know anything. Like, people like will always like roll their eyes at people who like new games. Like people have done that with, like, you know, fighting game equivalent would be like, if people love Street Fighter 6 or Strive, they'll be like, oh, these guys are fucking tourists. But what if people just genuinely like Strive and they've played like Accent Core, Exard? I mean, sure, that may not be the entire Guilty Gear community that they all love Strive, but there are still people who love Strive that play the other games. Like, these people exist, and it's like it's like the inverse with this guy. The tourist is this guy who likes the old games, but those people are also those tourists also exist. They will just mindlessly, brainlessly love these classic games because nobody will bat an eye. But the second you sit there and you love a modern game, you will be under more scrutiny than DSP is half the time. The only reason why DSP is not being completely defended is simply because he sucks at a game so much and he has such bad takes. It is like phenomenal and obvious. Like, it's so unique.
Seriously, they actually should have just shown a few statue-like enemies and the guy shooting and some dramatic scenes, and that would have been the trailer. Now, that trailer would have looked boring because the game is boring, but it would have been representative of what the game is, and then I wouldn't have called it a bait and switch. But it is a bait and switch. When you present the game
But look how dumb this is. Like, this is so stupid. Because then if that's the case, okay, so let's say that he did what he wanted, right? And let's say it underperforms, like, a lot. He does it, so, like, they did it in this fucking get a load of this, they did a trailer and they made the game look boring. And then they're wondering why it didn't sell. Yeah, stupid! You made the game look boring! Like, dude, it's a fucking trailer. Grow up.
the game in a different way that's not representative of what the actual gameplay loop will be. And again, it doesn't matter if the game is cheap or expensive. If it's not fun, I'm going to tell you that. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, Crizzle is just not fun. Maybe if I kept playing, it would have gotten to fun parts, much like Days Gone, where you had to play 12 hours through this grindy intro crap to get to the good parts. But that's not my fault or my problem. It's the game developer's problem, because they have a game that's so boring up front.
Okay, let's check out his gameplay of Crysoul. Actually, let's just go to. I think I can go to Rawful from here, right? Let's just go to subscriptions. This might be faster. Let's see. No, I have to. Whatever. Okay, fuck it. We'll go to his actual channel. We'll give him the view. It'll be like a licensing fee. It'll be my little gift to Phil for me for checking out his slop.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. More Crizzle here on release day.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
Okay, we're just walking.
Doing is tediously backtracking now to open all the things you couldn't open before. That's not very fun.
He's playing fucking Hollow Knight. He's playing a Metroidvania right now. He's like bitching about backtracking. Okay, whatever.
Up front, I bet most people who buy it will play it for 2 hours, say, what is this crap, and never touch it again. Now, you might say that's not a big deal because the game's only $15. Yes, it is. Because you've wasted 2 hours of your...
Okay, Steam has this thing called a refund policy, and when you play like less than 2 hours of a game or 2 hours of a game, like you can then submit it for a refund, and then you get a refund. Like the only people that are gonna be hurting is if you buy it on console. That's really it. You buy Crysoul on console, you're fucked, because then yeah, you spend $15 on it, but that's like the cope everyone has anyway when they buy video games anyway. That's just the nature of things. Like even then, it's like, let's say that you can't get a refund. That's just how it is. People bought $60 games and said this was boring and they felt burned. Like that's just how it is. Like that's part of the experience of buying something. You can go to the movies and be like, "Oh, this movie sucked. What the fuck?" Like this guy, man. It's like that fucking scene in Chainsaw Man where Denji asks Makima, "Oh, what do you think of bad movies in your world?" And she said like something like, "I want a world where there's no bad movies, only good movies." And he said, "I gotta kill you now," like, you know, whatever, because it symbolically represents how if everything is good, it becomes boring and dull and mundane. You get like you cannot appreciate the good if you don't experience the bad, right? And this is the guy that will always tell you that you gotta suffer to really enjoy the treats or whatever the fuck. And it's like that's the same for media. You will truly not appreciate how good something is when you see a lot of other dog shit. Like, and that's something my dad told me too. When I was when I was debating seeing the Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie, I just wasn't sure about going to it, and because I thought it was not going to be good because I mean, how often is it a 10-minute like cartoon would translate into a movie, right? And my dad told me, well, you know, you're never really gonna know, and sometimes it is worth seeing a bad movie. And I didn't think much about it until like, you know, over time it's like, yeah, you know, like you really won't appreciate something if you don't experience something bad, or you won't even know what is a bad movie. You don't see a bad movie, or all this stuff. Like this is purely a talking point from his end that doesn't respect the media. This is the guy that says, "Oh, video games are art. Video games are art," but when it comes to like the actual medium, he doesn't like appreciate it. Like, and I'm not saying you have to be like a fucking art snob to really like get that. Like, even as basic as a gamer can be, like you could really be just the average gamer to really understand the concept of, yeah, this game sucks, then you move on to the next one. But these people want constant bangers, constant stimulation, and it's like, come on.
Of your time, you've already made that purchase, and most people were going to be like, well, it's not a big deal because it's not expensive, but you still shouldn't get ripped off. And if you bought that game thinking it is going to be like the trailer, you got ripped off. Doesn't matter that it was cheap, that's still...
But that happens regardless. People watch trailers, they buy the thing, and they're like, what the fuck? And get disappointed. Like, and it varies. Yeah, sometimes those are just blatant scams. Sometimes it's just like, oh, they like oversold it or whatever. Like, No More Heroes 2 did that. No More Heroes 2 was like, you're gonna fight 50 bosses! Then you play the game and you skip like 20 bosses. And it's like, yeah, that's over-promising and under-delivering. But I'm just gonna tell you, that game had other issues than just that. Like, that was not, like, that was the least of the problem in No More Heroes 2, as far as I'm concerned.
Still your money and your time that has been wasted. A lot of people just don't seem to value time well enough anymore.
Because they understand... Dude, you're playing a video game. You're already wasting time. When you play the game, you're accepting the fact you are wasting time playing a video game. Like, you're already doing that. The game could be an amazing game. You're already wasting time, like, already. Like, come on. Like, this is like a fucking child. A child discovering that you have finite time. Like, it's insane that he is, like, in his 40s, and we're talking about time management. This is something you teach a kid. You teach a child this.
You have to understand we have one life to live on this planet. The older I get, the more I realize my time is more valuable than ever before because I have less of it.
Then why are you wasting time doing a podcast that goes on and on and on? Like, dude, he talks about this when there are times in his fucking morning show and podcast where he's just doing this. And it's like, why don't we just end the show when it gets to that point? No, guys, we may have some questions. And he has some arbitrary time he wants to get to. That's wasting time. And then if you complain, oh, you're just a kid with ADD and blah, blah, blah. This guy wastes so much time. It is insane when he complains about it.
Of it than ever before on Earth. Therefore, I don't want to waste my time on crap. And if the game is boring, it's crap. The game is boring, in my opinion. It's crap. I don't think that people should...
The game is boring. It's crap. It's okay if you like it, but it's crap. Oh my god, dude. And I bet you, if people told him, Phil, I watched 2 hours of your gameplay, and I think you're a boring streamer and you beg too much, he would go on a hissy fit. He would throw a tantrum and call you a fucking mouth drooler. Like, people even say that now. They're like, oh, your podcast is too long and boring. I don't want to sit through an hour. Can we get to the game? Just sit still. We're going to get to the game. Just wait. What if they don't want to wait? Phil, their time is valuable. Like, this dude is so inept. Like, come on.
People should be fooled into thinking anything otherwise. So I made a video explaining that, but somehow I did it wrong. No, I didn't.
Nobody said he did it wrong. They're just saying, dude, you're like, all the stuff you're complaining happens within 2 hours. You could get a shotgun within 2 hours and this and that. Like, the fact you couldn't get to the shotgun within 2 hours, like, you technically did it wrong if you were looking for a shotgun, if you couldn't find it by that point, right? But, like, whatever, okay.
You're doing it wrong if you're
Oh.
blindly defending the game because it's an indie game that's cheap. There is no reason whatsoever.
Nobody said this in his comments, and they said, like, there was one comment. I'm not gonna fucking go back to that video, fuck it. But there was a comment that did mention their price point, but only in the sense of that they thought they had a good value in it. I looked at blah blah blah. Like, that's it. And this dude is like is acting as if people are saying this and ignoring the flaws. I've not seen anyone do that. Come on.
Whatsoever to be defending anything because it's cheap or made by a small studio. It still needs to be good. Crizzle is not. That's my opinion. If you disagree, you have a right to do that. But to criticize my opinion and say it's invalid and I'm being too harsh because
it's a review within 3 hours, and you would complain about that yourself if a reviewer did this. Like, it is so funny that he invents all these standards for everyone else to follow, but if you fucking throw his own standards back at him, he gives you this face. He looks at you like this. He's like, what? No, not me. You can't hold this. You can't hold me accountable for this. Like, oh my god, I can't depend. Oh man, this is like peak how Phil would look at you. Like, Phil, you cannot judge a game within the first 3 hours. And you're like, yes, I can. Stop.
I'm treating it like it's a AAA game is incredibly ignorant. Bottom line.
You keep
Okay?
comparing it to a AAA
So listen,
game.
it's fine. It
It's
is what it
fine.
is. If people want to disagree, go for it. They already are. And there's nothing I can do about that. If you like Crizzle, good for you.
Good for
All
you,
I know
but
is
it's crap.
I was bored of
I
it.
love it. If you like it, good for you. But it's crap and a scam. And it's a bait and switch. But it's okay if you like that. That's how people talk about DSP fans. You know what? Look, if you like Phil, that's fine. But I think he's a scammer and a piece of shit and stupid. But that's fine if you like him. That's how they talk about him. Hilarious.
Of it, and so was the audience. Everyone in the chat was bored as hell. So why on earth am I in the wrong by making a video just resonating that feeling?
People who comment on the video were not people who were in his chat. And also, like, again, he does these videos, like, dude, I put out so many videos talking about my dumb fucking thoughts on, like, games I played, movies I watched, or whatever, and it's like, you know, I barely get any comments on it, which is fine. I mean, do whatever, right? I'm not gonna, like, be like, oh, guys, but it's like, I would find it interesting to see other people's opinions on. I've seen some comments under my other videos though, and it's like I do kind of like think it was actually interesting. I can't remember the video though. I want to think about it for the sake of this, but I don't remember. But there was a video I talked about a movie, and then someone like kind of like said like kind of like brought some good points or whatever, right? Like that has happened. But this guy gets comments and it's like, oh my god, they were telling me I did it wrong. Like, I don't know, man. You sold your own video in a very, like, needlessly negative light. You could have said, oh, Christ, so my impressions after 3 hours, and then say, like, how you thought it was boring. Like, people would probably still disagree, but, like, you can at least accept it, right?
In verbal form for 10 minutes. Anyway. So that's what happened yesterday in regards to Crizzle. All right? And so you can watch the videos. By the way, almost no one has. To give you perspective here, my video about Crizzle, which is 10 minutes long, already has over 1,500 views and climbing in like 15 hours that it's been live. Okay? The actual gameplay of Crizzle the 3.5 hours, the first part has like 400 views. The other two parts barely have 200, if that. People started watching, said, wow, this is boring, and literally never continued to watch because the game is boring. So, again, the results actually...
Again, we are blaming the game for being boring and not the person who's playing the game on stream for being boring, right? I love that when it comes to his own content, it's always the game that's getting criticized instead of the person who's streaming. Like, dude, there are people who think my videos are fucking boring, and it's like, you know, like sometimes it's like, you know, that's just how it is. Like, I mean, I understand. Like, that's why I tried not to like get too deep into like these examples that I get carried away still sometimes, but I do try to cut back, and I don't. I mean, it's hard. It's rough for me, but that's how it is. That's how the cookie crumbles.
Match what I'm saying about the
I'm
game.
not saying like, guys, it's DSP. Dude, he is the... If you think my videos are boring, I'm doing detractor videos. He's the one that's boring, not me, okay? So it's him. Guys, I wish these would made better content. Maybe my videos would be better, right?
I'm not wrong. You're just too lenient on indie games, and you need to stop. Because what'll happen is, now everyone apparently needs to be so nice to indie games that we just gotta...
Again, he's acting as if like people are treating indie games like they're like special needs kids who like went to school and showed them like a piece of shit like arts and crafts. Like, oh look, I made this stupid stick figure, and everyone would be like have to clap because the kid is like has his foot in his mouth. You gotta be kind to this guy, but that's not what's going on. He keeps treating indie games in this weird way. It's insane. And when it's AAA games, it's not AAA games' fault. It's the streamers. Like, notice that when people are being overly kind towards AAA games, they're influencers and they're shills and they're the golden boys and the golden children and all this other like bullshit. But when it's indie games, well, people are being too kind, like as if like the indie games are like a protected class. Like, this is insane. Nobody is like this. There are people just as like negative towards an indie game as they are to AAA games. The only difference is that there is a more personal aspect to indie games, because a lot of times the people who run the indie games Twitter account, all this stuff, like, these are actual people and the actual developers of the game and this and that. Like, there's a lot more like out there about that, and it's a little more like direct. Unlike AAA games where it's just teams and teams and teams of people that can be let go at a moment's notice. Like, that's like the difference with all this other stuff, and he doesn't get it.
Say they're all good? No, absolutely not. In fact, it should be the polar opposite here, because now there's so many indie games that are clamoring for your attention and dollar, because now AAA games are floundering and failing. Now indies are getting their shot. You need the voice of reason to cut through all of this.
This is so stupid, because the indie game industry has been the same unchanging thing for years. The only danger is if these bigger companies like Ubisoft, Microsoft, whatever, starts buying these companies. That's when it starts to become a problem. Because then it's like, well, they're going to be part of this other company and they're going to like run to the ground. Like, look what happened to Rare. That got bought out by Microsoft. Tango Gameworks, they got bought out by Microsoft. Like, that's when problems start to arise. I don't know if anyone even, technically Tango Gameworks isn't indie, but you know what I mean. Like, when these bigger studios start eating up the little studios, that's the problem. That's like the one issue. Not that, oh, people may be overly kind to indie games, because indie games are actually more direct with the people who worked on them. The people who are making these games are making them because they want to make them. Like, come on.
All of this crap to tell you what's good and what's not. You don't need everyone telling you every indie game is great. I mean, sure, I could have kissed Crizzle's butt. I should have said, oh, look, the graphics are quite good for a cheap game, right? Can you imagine that this game looks so good on such a small budget and it's an indie game. Yeah, I could have just
Yeah.
sat here and just said that or said, ooh, the creepy atmosphere. Yeah, those are the two good things about Crizzle is the graphics and the atmosphere. But the gameplay
Why didn't he talk about that? Did he talk about that in the video? I don't remember.
is boring. So I'm not going to lie about that to you. I'm sure a lot of people do. They just sit there and they act like they're almost like promoters of this indie, style of game because this is what's the hot thing to do right now. Well, no. If you want me to cover more games and you want me to cover indie games, you have to expect the same level of transparency and the same level of criticism that I give any other game that I used to play. And just because it's popular to say AAA games suck right now doesn't mean that I'm going to say every indie game.
But you did do that. You literally did do that. Because like the only reason why people were like talking about how great indie games are people who have played indie games longer than this guy. Like people who like praise Silksong was there with Hollow Knight. They like the game. All this other shit. Like this has been a thing people have been talking about for years, whatever. And he's acting as if like he's the only one that's being critical of indie games. Or that everyone else is talking positively because they're popular. He's the one that did that. He joined in. Like, look at how he talked about indie games before. Look how he talked about them before.
Indie game is amazing too. Okay? So there you have it. That's what I have to say about my coverage of Crizzle. You can enjoy the 10-minute video if you just want to see my summarized thoughts. You can watch the raw gameplay if you so choose. It seems like no one is so choosing that, okay? Because basically everyone agreed who watched it, it was fucking boring, so no one's even bothering watching the gameplay. Just saying.
Okay,
Okay?
whatever. I don't care about the views, by the way.
Okay, now, let's do some shout-outs for
All right.
contributions, and then I want to get to the second half of this discussion, which is the fact that I conducted an interesting experiment during yesterday's stream.
Whoa, an
In reality, I've actually been doing a little bit of experimentation recently, and I want to let you know exactly what it's been.
This is it's so obnoxious. This little guy doing experiments on his own viewers. I mean, it's so insane.
Okay, but let's do
Okay.
some shout-outs first off, because there was a couple of contributions
Let's
here.
do the shout
We
outs.
have our first tip of the day. A $10 tip from someone who says, this is exactly why I actually support you, because you keep it real.
Oh my god, keep it real.
Because you keep it real no matter what you're
Okay,
doing.
Let's see if this will play.
Exactly. I'm never going to be the guy that's a butt kisser for any reason
Real.
whatsoever. I have absolutely no reason to ever kiss butt, because I don't actually benefit from doing it. On the flip side, I also don't benefit from just being a toxic jerk to everything either. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
So, I don't get why people are actually upset with me for being honest. And again, I think
They're not being upset with you for stating the opinion. They just think it was too like premature to like write off an entire game off of your own experience within the first 3 hours and call it a review.
what you also have to understand is, whenever I put out a video, it's my opinion, right? It literally says,
Oh, looky here! Wow! Wowie zowie, right, guys? This dude yelled at so many people and saying, "Oh, you're saying it's my opinion? You're a pussy. You're hiding behind your opinion because you know you're a fucking idiot or whatever." He has shat on so many people for doing this same thing, and now, guys, it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. Oh my god, DSP, if you don't want people to fucking use your own logic against you, maybe don't talk.
that Crizzle is a bait and switch based on my 3.5 hours of playing, and that's what the video is titled, right? So why people would be upset, I don't know, but it is what it is.
But you also call it a bait and switch, which it doesn't make sense. Because the game was like, the first 2 hours, you're gonna get 10 enemies, 10 brand new enemies back to back, and you're gonna get 10 guns. They never said that. You interpret that you're on your own. You hyped yourself up on this one, my guy. And again, like, you called it a bait and switch. For me to believe Chrysler was a bait and switch from what I saw, it would have to be a visual novel. It would have to be a different genre altogether, whatever. From what I've seen, it just seemed like that's what the game was. Like, come on.
it is, I'm not going to change. Okay? Cool. So thank you for $10. I appreciate that.
Cow.
First super chat of the day is 2L84 Prey, who did a CZK50 super chat.
it's not
Okay,
like the
hold on.
song
There's a
from
lot of work
GTA.
here. CZK to USD, and it's what, 50?
Can't remember the name of the
So
song.
it's $2.45. Okay. Thank you for the
Just
first
can't
super chat of the
believe
day.
you. I think that song.
And they said, this is out of context, but will you show a tour of your house in the future? Much appreciated. No.
No.
Perhaps when I set up my workout room.
Oh
Which
my god. And then we're gonna do. I hate when he does this shit. Yeah, I'm gonna set it up. Then maybe I'll do it. But I'm not going to. But I might. But I won't. But I won't. Might. I'm not. I'm. You know. Like. Just fucking shut up.
I am planning on hopefully doing some because I've learned is if I share everything, then people use that to hurt me. And I know that I've gone into detail a million times about this, so I'm
So let's say that he. Well, I guess it would be like, wow, he bought this equipment. That's a lot of money, but they're all a lot of money. I mean, dude, like it's so funny, right? He can't do this. He can't make this claim anymore about saying that how it's gonna hurt him if people find the prices of the equipment when he has literally went on and on about how people who go to a gym membership are poor people. Like, oh, these are what poor people do, and I can afford a in-home gym. Isn't that what rich people do? They have an in-home gym. Like, isn't that what people who have a lot of money do? Because again, like the reason why people go to the gym is because it's cheaper. Because it's just a like $20, $60 a month, whatever the fuck, deal. And you have access to a wider range of machines and all this other stuff. And it's a social thing, whatever. It's like everything, right? And this guy is like, yeah, that's what poor people do. I'm going to have an in-home gym. That's pretty expensive because you're getting a lot of equipment. And you're going to eventually need more, right? Like, come on. So it's ridiculous to assume that I can't show you this. You're going to know how much money these things are. We know off the bat it's a lot of money because gym equipment's expensive, right?
so I'm not going to go into detail about it on today's show. But basically, what's in this room stays in this room and gets broadcast to the internet. What's outside of this room is my personal business to be shared with my wife, my cat, and my immediate family. Like my parents know everything that goes on in my house, but that's about it. No one else needs to know anything that's in this house. You don't need to know about the giant mountain of coke.
Okay, we're gonna.
I can film around the house to. Okay, first of all, let's get that on the leaderboard. Now there are literally. So Princess Luna says indie games are like food trucks. There's now.
Oh my god, dude, Princess Luna, can you just shut up forever?
So many, only the good ones survive, in my opinion. That's what's happening now. Because it didn't used to be like that. Now, there are literally so many.
What? Oh my god, dude, this
says
is...
indie games are like...
These two people are made for each other. They're so fucking stupid. It's like food trucks, only the best survive. That's how everything works. Like, what?
Food trucks. There's now so many, only the good ones survive, in my opinion. That's what's happening now. Because it didn't used to be like that. Now, there are literally...
Oh my god, it didn't used to be like that? That didn't how it used to be. You think all these indie games that came out in 2010 are still around? Hello?
Literally so many games coming out in a given week, right? Just this week. You know, I'm looking for a new game for the rotation. It's like, okay, so Crystal came out, but so did Mugenics. But so did Romeo Must Die. But so did, there's another...
Romeo Must Die. It's Romeo's a dead man? Dumb fuck? Romeo Must Die. Okay.
Other one, too, that just dropped. And now, supposedly, Marathon might have a demo. But then you got this going. I was like, wait, what? There's like 7 options.
This, but this has happened before. Like, see, these people, like, they don't... These are... like tourist behavior, because this is something that someone would say that is completely ignorant, because even back then, a lot of indie games are coming out. People were telling this years ago when he was like, I can't afford anything, I can't afford Mario RPG, blah, blah, blah. And people were telling, hey man, there's like indie games that could do this, the same thing, give you the same enjoyment for less. Why do you do that? Oh no, there's so many indie games. It's like going to a buffet and you don't know what you're gonna get. And it's like, You know, like that's like he keeps putting down like that there's so many indie games that are all that you don't know what's good. Meanwhile, you AAA, you know what you're getting. And it's like, oh my god, it's insane. It's insane because this has always been a thing. But these people have never cared about the indie genre. But now they are forced to because AAA games are gonna have a slower like pipeline because these are getting more expensive and the research is getting too costly. Blah blah blah. Like whatever. Like that's what's happening. And these people are finally realizing that there's a whole indie game market out there that's just constant. And they're thinking that like this is gonna change now because now they're put on the forefront. No, dumb fuck, you're now just looking at it because you were forced to.
Like, how do I choose what I'm supposed to be doing on my streams when there's so much going on? When you have so much selection, you need someone.
This is dumb. This is so stupid. This is fucking sheep behavior. You need someone to tell you what to do. This guy is so helpless. He's so helpless. I don't know what to do. I don't know what game to play. I've never seen anyone so helpless in this. It's insane.
To cut through all of that to tell you what they think and if it's your cup of tea or not. You don't need someone to say, "Oh, Crizzle is an indie darling. It's amazing."
Like this is like insane, man. I can't get over this. Nobody has been calling any indie game an indie darling. He is the only person I have ever seen even say that about any game. Nobody has called any game an indie darling. This dude is such a boomer. Oh, it's gross.
To cut through all of that to tell you what they think and if it's your cup of tea or not.
And these YouTubers exist. There are literal YouTubers who will tell you that, well, this indie game is not worth it and you should skip it, blah, blah, blah. Like, there are people who do that. He thinks everyone is sort of like, indie game good. Like, this is like a generalized Twitter take. Like, this is like the whole debacle about people who are mindlessly praising Japanese games or whatever, like, oh, it's this in Japan, amazing, and this and that. Like, it's funny, I was thinking of doing a video about this, so this is a little side tangent, unfortunately for you if you don't like these kind of things, but there was an episode of Jujutsu Kaisen that came out that had Twitter discourse, everyone's favorite kind of discourse, and I was gonna do a video on this because it seems to me that, like, because it was a tweet that highlighted a global score and a Japanese score, but I think since then, like, the Japanese score is like kind of like bullshit because it's like, well, they don't really use IMDb, whatever, blah blah blah. But anyways, the point is, this account said, what if the global audience are the idiots here and the Japanese one is the one that matters or whatever? And I saw that, I was like, you know, I feel like that some of these people who are this like dumb, or at least like this single-minded, will just look at like a Japanese account can say, guys, Japanese people love drinking bleach. They say it's the best drink ever, and these people will just drink bleach without a second thought saying, I don't know about that or whatever, because the episode of Jujutsu Kaisen they gave that the Japanese gave a low score supposedly. I did not think it was that bad, and I thought it was a good episode. It's the one where Maki like kills the entire Zenin clan. It's a good episode. Like I mean I think the manga might handle it better, but I think the episode was just as good. Like it was a very like fun little episode that had a lot of emotional weight to it. Like I liked it. I liked it a lot for what it is, whatever. I wouldn't say it's a perfect score, but I don't think that it's a 4 out of 10. So it's like you could be a little like critical, or at least you're not necessarily attach yourself to whatever the Japanese people think about anything, right? Like, you know, you can have a little bit of a free thought, right? And that's kind of like the attitude I feel DSP has. It's like, you need someone to do this. It's like, why do you need someone to be attached to something or whatever? Just have your own thought. I don't need someone to tell me what they think about something. If I want to experience, like, I can get ideas from reviews, and that's fine, but not all of them are accurate or right. Like, you don't go with a first review or even the overall review. For the most part, like the review that they're even talking about in regard to Jujutsu Kaisen is like an aggregate score of like an average. Like, you don't know even if that's even accurate or even the full opinion of a country, let alone like that, right? So it's like you just need to think and have common sense, which he doesn't have. He needs to be told what to think.
You don't need someone to say, oh, Crizzle is an indie darling. It's amazing that on an under $20 price tag, they have these graphics. Who cares about the fucking graphics if the game is boring?
He cared about the graphics. He actually, like, bragged about caring about the graphics. This is why I played that first podcast. He literally wanted to play Creasel solely because of the graphics. He shat on eugenics because of the graphics. And this guy says, well, it shouldn't matter how the game looks. It needs to be fun. But this guy bought Creasel because of the fucking graphics. You are part of the problem here, dumb fuck.
Right? Who cares? Right? So that's the point I'm making.
You care.
I'm glad that you're seeing my point, Princess Luna, that we need to be honest about this crap, or else what we're going to end up with is we're going to have a completely anti-AAA mentality and a completely every single indie is great mentality, and you'll never know what's good. It's going to be just as bad as when it was just AAA, where everyone says everything's good, everything kisses everyone's butt, you know, and now you can't determine what game to spend your money and time on. You don't need that. You need honesty, and that's what I'm going to strive to do.
But there's no genuine opinion from him because, like, I mean, come on, I'm being redundant at this point.
Right here on this channel, cover more games and be honest about each game and let you know what I think.
He just loves LARPing as the honesty guy. I'm so honest. I mean, if you're bragging about being honest, I kind of don't think you're honest.
Be games that I absolutely love that you actually hate. There might be games that I actually hate that you love, and that's okay. You know who I am. You know my feelings. You know.
Yeah, but then when people are like, "Oh, I actually like Stellar Blade," you're like, "You like it because you fucking gooed off to it," or whatever the fuck. He always judges people for the games they like, and he's always nasty to them. Okay, man.
You know how I have these certain, you know, affinities for certain kinds of things in video games. I think a lot of people know my likes and dislikes at this point. So, honesty is the best policy, okay? Thank you for the support. All right. Oh, I was just going to go to the next point, and Typical Average Gamer did a $2 super chat and says, did you see anything about Crimson Desert? Oh, yeah, we reacted.
All right. This video is too long. I'm not going to react to the experiment in this video. So I'm going to end this video here, and then I'll record the second part, because that would be insane to sit through. So thanks for watching this video. I will see you in the next one about the experiments that he does on his fucking fans. The sick fuck experiments on his fans. He social engineers his fans, guys. But I'll see you in the next one. And always remember this. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.